And we're live. Hopefully. I'm hoping. I'm assuming. Hi guys. This is Records of the Realm. This is Light Arc. These are the Radiant Babes. I am the record keeper, Vincent / Vander / Vinny / whatever you want to call me. Butthole, asshole. I have a lot of unique names. From various people. Just the middle finger, I guess.
Beloved Nightmare King.
Maybe.
Mel likes to say bastard.
Yeah, I do.
A lot. But yeah, hi.
Echo calls you rat bastard.
Rat bastard. It's a lot of great names. This is great, guys. Confidence building. It's great. Hi. We're here to continue the story of the Radiant Babes. Before we hop into it, we do have two things going on. We have our donations to Fund Texas Choice. I always mix up two of the words. Fund Texas Choice. We're just doing donations to them. Very much appreciate it. Every time we hit $20, a new thing gets bumped up. The next $20 that we hit will actually get these guys an additional auto crit. They're also hit the 100 goal mark, which means something weird's gonna happen, and no one knows what that is. Very excited for it.
Weird?
Interesting. Fun for me.
First time hearing of this.
Fun for you is actually. I'm concerned by all of these statements, Vinny.
That's right. I don't want to give you a good statement or a bad statement. They all have to be concerning statements.
Fun for you sometimes means fun for everyone, and sometimes it means Nightmare King.
Yeah, we'll see.
Not funny. Funny weird.
Funny fuck. The next thing, I always forget the order we do these things in. We also have a store. Most of the artwork, all of the artwork has been done by Mellowet up there. Mellow, subtract the W, add as an etiquette, all that good fun stuff. Somehow they're wearing a sweater right now. I don't know what's wrong with them.
It's very cold in my house right now.
I'm dying over here.
Well, come visit and get some air conditioning going.
Did you guys hear that firework?
Nah.
Cool. Thanks, Blue Yeti, not sponsored, for hopefully doing some decent sound reduction. Beyond the store and the donations, we do have bits. The bits price have changed because Pride Month has ended, but we're going to keep the color streak going in the corner. Rerolls, which were 69 before, is now going to be 100. The rerolls, which were 266, is going to be straight up 300 now, and the other number before was 2022. We are reducing that one. Actually, it's going to be reduced down to 1500. So if people want to donate bits of any sort, they help the group. If you want to put together something for the donation, I'd actually would prefer if you donate to Fun Texas Choice, honestly. And there was another thing I was supposed to put up, which was the community goal, which I didn't do. So it's not happening right now, but we're going to have a community goal soon.
There's also Gem Hammer.
We do have Gem Hammer. Thank you for reminding me. We are working together with Gem Hammer, who has given me, I have bought a lot of things from them because I like their stuff. We have 20% off of their site. They have dice. They have small PDFs for small quick adventures. They have lots of different card things, and I've used a lot of them. So please check it out. They're really awesome. Them as people are also really awesome. So please go check them out. Beyond that, we're gonna do intros of everybody, a quick recap, and then we're gonna pop into some mayhem. So hi, I'm Vinny / Vander of Vander.Vision. Cosplay photography and videography is my mainstay. I also make D&D content. Still trying to finish my first book, but you know, it got funded, so I can't really complain. Rach.
Hi, my name is Rachel. I play Temerity Serechor, the one that doesn't really help with the investigation, but is here for the glam and the drama. And this is Katarina, if you were wondering.
I love Katarina.
I love her too, except when she tries to show her butthole on the camera, which is more often than not. Anyway, Corinne.
Hi, sorry, I'm busy objecting to you in the comments. Hello, yes, I'm Corinne. I play Ethel Moonshade, who is the Cleric of Selune. If you see me in the chat, I'm Purple Wolf Girl. And the rest of that statement in there is Temerity has helped out a ton. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, yeah, I think that's everything. So we're gonna go ahead and pass it up one more to Nova.
Oh, I'm Nova, or Localmania22 in chat and other social media sites. I play Asunar Keyrel, our half-orc, drow, barbarian, wizard. Still doesn't get any easier to say, but I like to hit things, and there's that. Pass it this way.
You
To
know, you
our
could just
friend.
say Drorc, right?
No, that's too hard.
How dare you try to make things potentially easier? No.
I'm Durs. As always, shout outs to the Storyteller Squad podcast, where I play Damien Edgecrest. But as always, very excited to be here, where I'll be playing Sin Amin Alamoad, the High Elf Arcane Trickster Chef. And then we'll pass it on down.
Hi, I'm Mel. You're probably tired of seeing my face by now, but I go by
Never.
Mellow. I go by Mellowette on most socials, and you'll see me in the chat as Mellowette_, occasionally freaking out and crafting theories because apparently I'm the resident conspiracy theorist. I play Kanitae Baequiundilin, our party's half-elf lore bard, who apparently also now knows Druidic, so that's fun. Yeah, and I made the merch. Anyway, Vinny.
Oh, I forgot one other thing. Next week, my other D&D stream is starting back up again after our forever hiatus. So you, if you would like, could get a double header of my face because it will also be on Sundays. Yes, this. So
Sunday
it'll be
morning.
going, I believe, from noon to 4, and it'll be on the channel Rob Tom Cow on Twitch, spelled exactly how it sounds. And I will be playing the 7-foot-tall himbo named Gargax. Come check it out.
Is there any underscores in that?
Nope. Straight Rob Tom Cow. There it is.
Okay. I got
Thanks.
you. Yeah.
Cool. I don't know why we're handing it to me because I don't do the recap. Metal,
That's right.
back to
I
you.
do the recap. It's always either me or Rach. Cool. So, me and my 1,000-tab notebook have recap for you today. So after getting a unexpected but kind of deserved visit from Kanitae's ex-wife, we check our rooms to make sure that she didn't tamper with anything else as well as the rest of the collective. She left behind exploding notebooks basically that have glyph of warding enchanted onto them. And
Hate when
so
my
every
exes do
time-
that.
Yeah, right? I hate when my exes leave a book of glyph of
Explosives
warding
in my room.
in my room, yeah. Connie is pissed. Everybody else does the productive thing and clears out the books and makes sure that there's none left in the collective. We split actually the books between us for future use because they actually might be kind of helpful, despite how infuriating they are. Group then splits off into teams to go about various tasks. So Connie and Temerity stay behind at the collective while Connie researches, and Temerity waits for Vito to come over for a long overdue chat. During which Connie learns a little bit about like god disappearances and like when gods go dormant, and sometimes these things get created called a remnant of respite, which can be like a weapon. An example being the Loyal Fury Yumi, which was once upon a time stolen by a group of planetside dwellers called the 11th 12th cogs. That's really hard to say. Vito shows up and cut to Ethel and her fiance as they go to find Auntie Plenty, who let's see. she first checks in with her head cleric Humphrey, who's like, "Oh, I haven't seen her in a while, but you know, there's like apparently there's two of her, which we're like, oh wait, Auntie Plenty's Devati? Excuse? Okay, cool. That kind of makes sense. Um Finds one of the Auntie Plenties at the Last Tale, I believe it's called. I had trouble hearing if it was hill or tail, and she was sitting on a hill, and it was a little confusing. Anyway,
Tail. She's at the tail
yeah,
end of the city.
yeah, I figured that out eventually. Yeah. So she finds one of the Auntie Plenties at the Last Tale, spends time sitting and talking to her, learning about mantle passing amongst gods, because Auntie Plenty somehow knew that passing down the mantle of a god was in fact a thing. Um, we learned that, or Ethel learned that the various ways that a mantle can be passed, such as a quote unquote master apprentice type relationship called an aspect of a god. There's also sometimes it's just like the god's will just goes out into the world and finds a person who's like, yeah, you. And the one time that Auntie Plenty did witness a mantle passing, it was a 15-year-old boy who died in the right place at the right time, and became Kalimvor. So that's cool, I guess. Throwback to Gentlefolk. What's up? Let's see. But we learned Auntie Plenty is not just a standard Devati. She is a triplet. And as such, her and her other selves are basically destined to be an aspect of Istis, and will one day inherit the mantle of Istis, which is both kind of terrifying and super rad. Ethel then shares her story with Auntie Plenty regarding Clyde. And Auntie Plenty does like a little bit of divining in her knitting for Ethel, where she basically says that Clyde may or may not be redeemable, but he is definitely very amnesiac at the moment. There's some weirdness going on there. And yeah. Meanwhile, Asunar and Cinn are at Clyde's apartment causing problems. They break into his apartment. Oh, I'm sorry. They saw Clyde beforehand. We're like, hey, is there anything to look out for? And he was like, not really right now, but we could station you here and here. And then they're just like, okay, cool. So now knowing that he's not home, they break into his apartment. I guess I should say sneak into his apartment, but still.
Nothing broke.
Nothing.
Is it breaking and entering if you
Nothing
get
broke.
without breaking
An
anything, or
alarm
is it
spell
just
broke,
entering?
motherfuckers.
Yeah, the alarm spell broke.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
My lockpick broke.
Yeah, your lockpick did break. Cinn located some paperwork, which we later discovered was parchment made from skin, that had an infernal contract written on it in blood about how Clyde was healed and brought back to life, and now he owes an
do.
infernal debt of servitude to Ashen Industries for a few years. Contract also details some of Ashen's work in developing magical food and with nature magic users and dunamancy to grow layers and layers of food on the primeval artifice. Asunar finds a tattered apron and a used red lipstick that definitely once upon a time belonged to Ethel. So Clyde remembers her to some degree. Clyde's vulture can be spotted out the window, beelining for the apartment because they triggered the alarm spell. And so they book it and they hide out in the Church of Selune before returning to the collective. Back at the collective, as the group rejoins. Matcha, please, not right now. As the group returns and rejoins Connie and Temerity at the collective, Connie takes some time to fill in Vito about what the fuck is going on with some of these killings, and basically profusely apologizes for not telling him sooner because they didn't know who on the force to trust because the police chief is an imposter. And that's been going on for like 2 months now, at least, at a bare minimum. Could be longer. We don't know.
You the Among Us,
Yeah.
sound?
Yeah. Very good. Oh, and at this point, we then kind of have a discussion about, should Ethel try to contact her god again? There's no moon right now, so that's kind of questionable. And everyone is like, well, maybe we should all try praying to a god and like going to this cottage place that Ethel talked about to like maybe get some more answers. Very unlikely, but we can try. So I think, what was it? Asunar was going to try to contact Umberly. Cinn was gonna, I think, also try Umberly. No, Cinn was gonna try Ogma. Connie's gonna try Istis. I think Temerity was just gonna try his wife.
Temerity wasn't there at that moment. Because
My apologies.
Rach had to leave. So,
that's right.
But yeah, so this is the one part that you missed, Rach, was they just
Everyone
started talking
decided to
about
pray to a
gods
god.
and tried to pray to gods. And I
Yeah.
think that's where we left
cool.
off.
That is where we left off.
Cool.
Cinn does have a date soon, later this
Clyde.
evening,
Yep.
with Clyde.
Yeah. So,
I do just want to note that we talked about communicating with gods very seriously. I do think it's a bad idea.
What
that
is
doesn't mean
D&D,
we
but not a
shouldn't
bunch
do
of bad
it.
ideas and dice rolls.
yeah. So
Just saying.
it is getting later in the day. You guys have
Yep.
started using your abilities, so like you guys are slowly getting spent. I'm sure you guys have plenty of skills left. So if there are, we have the date with Clyde. I don't know.
Is it now Moon Knight?
Look, I
It's
think you guys
still
are throwing
Moon Knight, yeah.
around the D word quite liberally, and this is not a date. This is an amnesiac who needs to try a bunch of foods and experience things outside of his demonic servitude.
So it's a date.
Yeah. Asunar was
That
also
sounds like a date to me.
was going to go praying. I don't know if that was going to happen tonight or if you guys are going to wait for tomorrow than that. But the very minimum thing that was going to be done was Clyde and I was gonna say Durs. Clyde and Cinn were gonna chill. Too many C names. So that can happen. Is there anything you guys want to talk about or discuss before Cinn heads off either alone or with people? I don't know if other people are going.
I know we discussed just barely touched on last time, potentially having someone, either myself or someone disguised as me, in the vicinity.
I did volunteer for that.
Do we want that to happen? Or are we just gonna kind of leave it for now and keep gathering information?
Bless
I like
you.
a good long con, but that's up to you.
I think maybe this time around, let Cinn try to learn more information, and then maybe phase 3, we test that.
I'm fine with that plan. I just wanted to clarify first.
I do like the idea of backup.
Where exactly are you going again?
He's going dancing in the
I'm not
underground.
going anywhere. He's coming to us. He's gonna visit
Coming
us
here?
at the Chalice.
Coming.
Oh, the chalice.
Oh, the
chalice.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I will
Okay.
definitely keep an eye on you, my friend.
I was about to say, Temerity, don't you have work tonight?
I mean, I'm always working, but
Oh, that's fair.
yes, I probably should pick up a shift. It has been a while, and it's not a good look for someone who's trying to, who will be the angel gem to keep dipping out on shifts. So, and I could also let Bara know to keep an eye on you if that would help, or you could ask her. You know her.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not concerned about things getting violent, but he looks like he could take me in a fight. I've seen him up close.
Oh, well, I can't help you there, friend. I'm sorry. The best I
I'm
could
coming
do
al-
was perhaps
I'm
banish
coming
him.
along, Arthur.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're decked out enough for now. Know that you can get through the night without any issues. We can go shopping tomorrow.
Well, because his bird showed up, I think I should do at least a wig change or something, because I'm not sure how much his bird can communicate, but
Say no
Yeah.
more. I have had an idea ever since the
Say.
last one.
Temerity's right
Oh.
here.
All right.
How do
Well,
you feel about
Temerity,
ombre?
sure, whatever that means. Sure.
Perfect.
But yeah, how about I just come to work with you tonight and you deck me up there and then we can yeah.
You trying to get on the stage today? The crowd
I
would
need a couple
love
drinks in
you.
my system. I need a couple drinks in my system before I do that again.
Done. Done.
I don't
Say less.
I'll check in on you in an hour.
Okay, so who is going? Raise your hand if you're going to the Jewel Chalice for whatever this is going to be.
I will be going there later tonight, but there's other things she's got to do
Okay.
first.
So you three head off. Vito will either stay and help anyone doing stuff here, or
No.
go back to
I'm
work.
dragging him with
You're
us. He
dragging
has
him
to come with
you.
us.
Roll me a persuasion check.
I'll get all whiny about it. Come on, please. It's not as fun without you there.
please for me.
19.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, no, you convince him. Wasn't hard.
If he has any like hesitancies, Connie will be like, "I'll be here researching. You're always welcome back here now that you know everything. My notes are your notes." So
All right. Feels weird going out and having a good time, but all right, fine. I guess we're gonna see how this works.
you've just gotten a lot of bad news. I think this is the perfect opportunity to blow off a little bit of steam and just tackle
Perfect
this in the
idea.
morning.
So take a breather.
And remember, this is partially having to do with what we're working on, so it is work too.
Partially. It is a little bit of work.
Awesome. All right, so you three plus Vito are gonna go head off. That leaves Connie, Ethel, Walter, and Trine. What are y'all gonna do with anything? Y'all can just like also like sleep, rest, be normal humanoids. It's okay, but you know if you want to like do something, I won't stop you.
I think Connie is just gonna take a beat to do a little more researching, but also I think she's kind of like looking at her notes specifically with like the statements translated into common on them. And then she starts like rewriting them back out in Druidic now that she can like understand and read it, and she's just kind of like going over the messages again and like looking at the capitalized letters, like trying to find some kind of sign, some kind of clue that is in this bullshit, because we've been sitting on this for weeks, months now, and there's gotta be an answer in here.
Okay.
Sorry.
Things tiny fists on table.
Yes.
So
Medium-sized fists, thank you very much.
Connie will do more research. Ethel, anything specifically you want to do?
Ethel, I think, is also joining in the research. There's a lot of information that's been tossed around in the past few hours. I feel like research would be a very relaxing activity to participate in at the moment.
Perfect. Well, okay, then Walter and Trine will literally just give both of you advantage, help you both. Trine also can give guidance, so Connie, you guys both get guidance actually, so
Oh, cool.
roll with advantage and add a d4.
Oof.
We'll get the boring stuff out of the way before we go party.
Are we rolling a specific skill, or are we just rolling?
Let me know what you're trying to figure out, and I will tell you what skill to roll. We're gonna get just in straight investigation, unless there's something else that you wanted to do, Connie.
Yeah,
feels
well,
like
so
investigation.
I specifically would like to look at there's those capitalized letters in the statements, right? I would like to look at them in Druidic and see if they spell a Druidic word that then can be translated, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Durs.
Yeah, thank you, Durs, for that genius suggestion.
Still seems like investigation to me.
Okay,
but...
no, just wanted to double check before making a decision.
And how about you,
Oh,
Ethel?
fuck yes.
I think we are... I'm trying to formulate what I want to look for into a coherent phrase. Keep going with Mel for a sec, and then I will...
Minnie.
Oh, Mel, also, don't forget you can inspire Ethel.
Oh, I'll do that in a second. Yeah.
Cool.
I will absolutely do that. But for my investigation roll, 19 plus 7, so 26,
Yep.
plus
Ooh.
another 3, so 29.
Very
Oh
good.
my god.
Any luck points?
I got 2. I'll throw. You know what? I'll make it a 30. Let's make it a cool 30.
Awesome. Ethel, do you know what you are looking for?
I think I am looking for I'm I don't know what the best avenue to go down is, so I think I'm looking for um
Do you want to
if
talk out like meta wise some of the threads that you're thinking of, and then I can offer a suggestion?
yeah, I'm trying to think
Okay.
of if the ritual that we've seen happen with the 8 people dying ties to the god and how to figure that out. Problem is,
Mm,
it feels like there's more than one missing link, and so I don't know quite what I'm looking for. Am I looking for a way to force an aspect? Am I looking for a way to kill a god with a earth ritual?
mm-hmm.
Earth side, city side, whatever, ritual? Um, or am I looking for um something in between those?
So we've been chasing the ritual thread for quite a bit.
That's kind of why I don't want to go that direction.
Yeah, so I think maybe leaning more towards the deity side of things might be it might at least offer new information.
Okay.
That's my thought.
I okay. I think I'm gonna go down the lane of like, is there a way to force an aspect? I don't know if that's something that I can even feasibly research because so few things about aspects are known.
Mm-hmm.
But
Is
since that's one of the ways that that the next god is chosen, that's kind of what I'm thinking about.
you're looking to see if there is a way to like pick or force an aspect into existence.
Yeah, to essentially force a choice of who the next god is going to be.
Gotcha. Roll me investigation or religion.
All
And
right.
Connie's gonna offer inspiration to Ethel. Like I guess they're I feel like they just start like gathering some books and just like getting down to read, and Connie just kind of looks up at Ethel and just goes, "Let's get to fucking work, I guess." And gives her a D8 of inspiration.
Fantastic. So the D8 of inspiration, a D4, and advantage.
Yes.
Okay. D4 for guidance, I should specify, I guess, since I specified the
D4 for
inspiration.
guidance, D8 for inspiration.
Gosh darn it. Okay.
And
That's
don't
not
forget
terrible.
luck points.
I rolled the same. Well, I only have like a couple luck points right now. I
Mm.
rolled the same number on both the D20s. Um. Okay, so it's not gonna end up being too bad because I have decent bonuses. 24. So we're gonna use a single luck point and bring it right up to 25.
Nice.
That's really good for rolling a 5 on a d20, just a heads
Yes, yeah, no,
up.
that's baller. Okay.
Because I rolled max on both the bonus dice. I got an 8 and a 4. Let me make sure I have my notes open.
I am going to answer. I'm going to answer Ethel's research first, and then I'll
Okay.
come back to
That's
Connie's.
fair. That's fair.
Great.
Forcing an aspect is a thing. It can be done. There's very little, like, full. There's not like a crazy amount of notes about it, but there's.
Mm-hmm.
My dog's being stupid. Give me a sec. Okay. She's done being stupid.
What's she doing?
Stepping into her water bowl.
Dumb dog things.
Blind dog things. You again Are you again? You are again. Okay.
Help it again.
There are ways to force aspect. Like more often than not, you would assume it's a ceremonial. It's an honor. It's a thing that like if you were like a servant of Helm or a servant of like Lathander, if you were a servant of a god, being bestowed the honor of being an aspect would be a big thing.
Yeah.
You don't find a lot about the forcing of it, but you can assume that through processes of, say, a god of Bane, god Merkel, or like a god of a more nefarious means, or maybe just their portfolio is of a less than savory nature. Like if there is a god of torture, torturing someone into becoming the aspect is probably a method. Whether it's willing or not is a whole other thing.
Okay.
You read of archdevils who were able to force uh, infernal beings of their lineage into becoming their specific brood, to becoming their aspects.
Okay.
You read of Tiamat churning any dragonkin that she is part of, churning them into an aspect if she so chooses, of ones of Zariel, ones of Dispatter. There's ones of more nefarious means, like demon lords or archdevils, are creatures that would just say, "Hey, you're part of me. I own you. You're gonna get stronger because I need a general."
Okay.
Whether or not deals are involved is a whole other thing. Like sometimes you might need to they might need to force someone to a form of submission, whether it's having their true name, whether it's having them sign a contract, whether it is beating them in a fight. But it's all things that can possibly happen.
Okay. All right.
Mainly, there's a lot of avenues that could happen. You would not.
Did you hear what I heard, Mel?
Yes, I also
Did
heard
you?
what you heard.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. We're on the same page.
I just
Okay,
gotta.
great.
I just have to
Excellent,
throw
okay.
fear of God into you every once in a while. But yeah, there are many gods who align in a good-natured way. Most likely aren't going to force somebody. Anything aligned
Okay.
in technically an evil way or has a nefarious portfolio, bets are off.
So the gods can force it. There's nothing that I find about necessarily humanity forcing it
No,
on their end.
no.
Okay.
That would,
Okay.
you would. There are items that are needed for some of these, so there is always the possibility of humanoids grabbing those items that like are part of like the archdevil Zariel, for instance, had parts of her body that had to be embedded into the basically her shedded forms. So she would shed horns or shed wings or hooves from her archdevil form, and those would be embedded into a tiefling or a devil of her brood, and that would transform them.
Gotcha. So I feel like that was more information.
It's a throwback. That's all.
Okay, cool. So there
I still have that audio somewhere. It's great.
Which one is that?
My mom.
Yeah. Is that my mom?
Great. Okay, so that's fascinating. I don't know if it gets us closer, but it's fascinating.
It doesn't answer your question about like people forcing it. However, there is that whole element of, oh, if they find the objects, who's to say someone didn't fuck around and find out and the guy was like, yeah, why not? And just was feeling a little chaotic that day. You never know.
Right. Well, and Selene specifically is a complicated god because it's all the phases of the moon, and so technically her personality shifts with every phase of the moon.
Oh.
So she's not strictly evil aligned, but like there's some pretty thin slivers of light some nights.
Well.
So
That there's a thought.
There's like she could have been chaotic enough. Like there's some things down this avenue that could actually help with this. It could also just be that Selene, like if the ritual and Selene dying are strictly connected, it could be that it was a fluke that Selene was the first one who died, and they're actually going for someone else.
That also is a thought. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
That's fun.
Great. Thanks, Vinny. I do feel like that was a lot of interesting information, though, and I'm a little bit more worried about Sprig now, but that's beside the point.
Gentlefolk, next Saturday? This Saturday. Fuck.
This Saturday.
This Saturday.
We'll see how many people we have for it. Before I answer your question, Connie, please list me in order all of the killings that you have so far, and their locations if you have them.
The locations. Ooh. Good question. Very good question.
If you can say the person, I probably can say the location.
Okay, yeah. Give me a second. So. Oh, yeah, I did not include that in my initial list. Okay. Yeah, so hopefully you have the location then. Green.
I don't have them written, but I have most of them in my head.
Okay, that's fair. So Nell the Star Elf, their quote was "beginning of all."
I don't think we know that one.
I think Nell died in their home.
But it could be their home. That's the only place I can think of.
I think, well, because I think his husband found him dead in their home, if memory serves. Then there's Do, the Devati Centaur, Ne'er Have Not, and Never Do. And that was at the stage from the
Underneath
festival.
this. Well, one of them was underneath and one of them was next to, but both at.
Yes. Hale was the following one, also like on top of the stage. Well before this cycle, you know. Then there was Shiavan, who died at the spa. Trigger the descent of your philosophers and guardians. Ryulum was found beside a river, but we don't know exactly where Ryulum died. Omens impending, consume all wishes, release the chakras, claim each soul. Not reclaim, but claim each soul.
Was Ryulum not by the university? I thought that was a part
that's
of that.
Right. Yes. Call Nevermore Solemn die at the university. That's right. I'm just gonna write these down really quick. Yeah, so Ryulum was at the university. Lonnie died at the gallery, and so did Nick. Their quotes both read, "Expire the pure and scarred to the end all." And then Judy. Where did Judy die?
At the
Did
church.
She die at the church? Okay.
I think that's what the thing said over the speakers.
Right. A Full Blossom, the Perfect 8 was Judy's.
Sorry. 7 Graves Killer, Perfect 8.
The irony.
Vinny's double checking a couple things real quick.
Now.
Cool. I have a lot of things I need to check. Apologies.
Nope, that's fair.
Cool.
We should probably double check later with. I've already forgotten his name.
Vito?
He's with the others at the. Yeah.
Fine.
Check with
We
who?
should. I think it is Vito.
Oh.
Yes, that
Oh, yeah,
our locations are all correct.
Yeah.
Probably
Cool.
should be a thing we do.
What was your question one more time, Connie?
The question that I had was she wanted, well, it wasn't really a question so much as like an idea. She wanted to retranslate the phrases back into Druidic, and where the capitalized letters were, she wanted to see if those spelled out anything in Druidic, and like maybe it just doesn't, as individual letters, they don't translate well into common. That was the thought.
That is fair. With a 30,
Yep.
open up Discord.
Let's
You
open.
not for me on my computer.
Oh.
I'm going to send you guys something.
Oh, we all get a something.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not gonna like just send it to you. I assume
Well,
it's.
I don't know if you're trying to do some whisper bullshit. Okay.
Yeah,
like-
whispers.
Are you not sharing stuff with everybody?
Oh, I'm always sharing stuff with
Okay.
everybody, but still.
Isn't a reason for
I was
whispers.
just wondering.
One of the things that you enough yet. One of the things that you figure out is you are looking for patterns. You're trying to see if there are ways that either some combination of the letters, the words that are capitalized, you figure out two things in the end by having just like pages of things open, having like looking over locations of where people have been killed and stuff like that. One, you begin to put a map together. And I'm gonna give this to you just because you guys were talking with Vito for a while. He probably gave you the location of Nell's murder,
Where did Nell die?
which was at the top of the rift. So you begin marking down the locations. And while you don't see a lot of anything yet, you start seeing that there are lines in specific spots on the city. Not connecting anything, but like showing the locations here, and it feels pattern, whether or not you have the whole pattern yet. Another part of the thing that you begin learning after you like put this down, and you're like, that's weird, but I don't have enough to go with yet on there. You begin going over the words, and you start looking through what some of them are. Some of them seem to be statements, just like full blown by themselves statements, like a full blossom, the perfect 8. That those just seem to be statements. But then there are phrases which seem to have almost titles in it, in a sense, like someone like being called a philosopher or a guardian or pure or scarred. It's putting an aspect on a specific person that they're talking about. So you begin to separate what is like potentially a code from what's like a word specifically about individuals. While that's not great, one thing that echoes weird, and it was said a few meetings ago, right after you got the information about Nell. And it was something that Asunar said. When you guys were talking and going over the information, you're talking about Nell and how the worst thing that he ever did was like knowing Shivan. He was too pure. He was too pure for this world. And that sticks in your head a little.
What's the line about pure and scarred again?
Expire the pure and scarred to the end all.
Can I make commentary because I'm in the room with you, supposedly helping you with this?
Yeah, I feel like Connie's probably just like she's noticing some things and then she's just like rereading that phrase out loud to herself over and over and over again, like fixating on it. And
So,
at some point, I think she would be like, Nell. Una said Nell was too pure for this world. He was too good. He. Shiavon was a thief and known for being violent, but she was doing it for good reasons. For the
but
orphans.
potentially scarred.
God.
No?
I mean, yeah.
I'm just gonna pull up the list. I know it exists here. Hold on.
You know, this is all gonna get way more complicated before it gets simpler, guys.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean,
But this
Nell was literally a star elf, a sort of celestial, right? Shivan was a tiefling. Kind of considered damned in some lore.
yes.
Nick was a
Well,
star genasi. Judy was a very dedicated cleric.
it also is trigger the descent of your philosophers and guardians. Rylim is a guardian of the city as
Mhm.
head of the police chief. As the police chief, that's how that phrase works.
That doesn't
Philosophers.
follow under the category of a philosopher being a cleric.
Yes. And
I don't think just Selene is in trouble.
I don't think so either. Because if presuming this is what killed Selene, and it seems a little too convenient for it not to be, why would you stop at one?
Trigger the descent of your philosophers and guardians. Do you think they're talking about followers of gods?
Potentially. That also could many could be pure or scarred or both.
There's there's good gods, evil gods, chaotic gods, everything in between. But it says expire the pure and scarred to the end all. Says that only the good and the evil gods and only chaos is left. Or is it all of them?
It is a fascinating thought. I guess does pure and scarred only apply to the people who were killed, or also to the gods?
Very good question. And then look at this. She'll point at the map. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points on here. There's 6 locations. We may have had 8 victims, but we don't have 8 locations total.
Do you think that perfect 8 applies to locations as well? Because
Potentially.
oh, here's a thought. Hold on. Let me open the map up too, because I have the phrases open. Vinny, where on this map is the park, and where is the Brazen Ballroom? Just general ballpark.
Oh, that is a good question. So I think the
Sorry.
park is this like lake area down at the bottom, right?
So,
Well,
do you mean the one where the
Where Duhin Hale died.
I mean the one where we're about to have a celebration.
the Dew and Hail one is the one directly in the middle. The celebration
Mhm.
one, I have to also pull up a map. like you to know that I have to like red string conspiracy board everything again every time I'm doing this stuff. Is the right hand side like triangular shape? That is where it's going to be.
Gotcha.
That's that
Okay.
part. And the brazen ballroom is near there, or is it?
Brazen Ballroom is the perfectly east building. That it's the like green orb that's a little inward from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that building, but it's the one like right behind, basically.
Right. It's that like greenish orb. It's kind of towards the edge of the city. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're basically if you go from the center where the big Coliseum is, you go straight right. It's gonna be like one of those buildings on the right. Like
Okay.
perfectly most eastern one, basically.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay.
Or if you just go straight across from where the Sublime Spa is, it's literally straight across.
Okay. Possibly east. Now I'm gonna have to print out this fucking map.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay.
Right. I mean, so here's the thing. So we've got
This is also
1,
me
2.
doing it on paint real quick, so they're not all in perfect spots. It's just about areas
Right.
for now.
Okay.
Well,
We've
about
got
areas,
1, 2, 3 going down the middle, kind of splitting this in half. You've
and
got
if we
2 on one side and 1 on the other, and we're hearing that a potential place that we're concerned about is all the way on the opposite side, almost directly parallel to one of these spots that was already hit, right? So
yeah,
then, allegedly, well, we're only 2 off, so that doesn't quite work because then there's this one spot there, and there's one spot down there. So if we were going to make it perfectly symmetrical, that wouldn't pan out.
So
no, it wouldn't.
But
I don't know that it's being perfectly symmetrical though, but if we drew the lines one at a time from in
Just-
order that they were killed,
just because
it-
not everyone is here right now, we're gonna cut you guys
yeah,
conspiracy
no, they
boarding
just start talking. Yeah.
short.
yeah.
And when you guys rejoin as a group, that way everyone can share their
Yep.
ideas.
Yep.
A little easier, a little better. You two can just start drawing for now, because I'm sure you guys are gonna do some fun shit. As that's going on. We're going to head over to the Jewel Chalice and the Gentle Heart, specifically the Jewel Chalice. But you guys see Bara as you enter. She gives a nod to you guys. Were you guys dropping some information to her before going in? I thought someone was.
Yeah,
Submission.
Bara. One of my guests is coming. His name is Clyde. He looks minor illusion. It looks like this. Should be a fine fellow. I don't expect any problems or nothing, but he could probably take me in a fight if it came down to it, and he has amnesia, so
Keep you safe, don't
should
worry.
be perfectly normal, but doesn't hurt to keep an eye on him.
I got you. No worries. I'll tell the others. I'll keep it on the down low, though.
You could take him, no problem. For the record.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't come to it.
Maybe.
Half strength, you know?
Asunar, come on. We have to go to the back right now.
Yeah, because you gotta do
Okay.
them. Alright. Montage
Makeover
music.
again!
Yeah, montage music
Part
starts
two.
playing.
I get all the
I was gonna say, we get all the
dancing involved. They're like, oh my god, yes.
We got Wava Singh, Scarlet, Bree, all up in your business, helping with the remake. It's very Mrs. Doubtfire, but like obviously we're trying to go younger, not older.
Yeah. You look hot. You got this beautiful flowing ombre, like yellow to red, like layered, beautiful, fluffy hair.
So sorry, Kabuki Kid, again, shout out Kabuki Kid for all this great artwork. Eventually we're gonna have to make you just ruin it all with weird disguises. But yeah, you are able to come in and relax. One thing Bara tells you, Sin, on your way in, you have someone actually looking for you, Sin. Aster? He was
Ooh.
hanging out with a couple groupies in there and wanted to talk to you when you got around.
Oh, well, that's that's exciting. I the Aster?
Yeah, Esther Montego. I don't know. I didn't
Oh
ask.
boy, I didn't know I was on his radar. That's incredible.
I mean, that's the nicest way. I didn't either. I didn't know what our business was. I'm still surprised he came for tryouts. That was weird.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's wild. Yeah. Well, oh boy, Sin sort of straightens up a bit. Yeah, I'm dressed fine. No, this will be good. Yeah, perfect. Is he waiting in the main room?
yeah. Do you want him escorted somewhere specific to talk, or are you just good to talk out there? Or...
Well, I'm gonna bump into him, and he'll take care of the rest, I presume. So that'll be good. Uh, I'll keep an eye out for Clyde if he comes. But yeah, I'll see what Aster's up to. This is a great day already.
Cool. Is Sin a fan of Aster? That is a great
Yeah,
question.
we found our first fan of Aster
Yeah.
Montego. Wow, what a day.
Yeah, that is...
I think it's more the fact that it is a celebrity, not a specific celebrity.
It's like if Hugh Jackman came up to any of us. It was like, hey, do you want to just like go over some lines with me for a few moments? It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to that one time that I accidentally saw Mark Hamill at Comic Con and I didn't realize it was him for a split second before getting a free selfie. It was dope. Same idea.
Mel,
So like if he
Yes?
was a
Mel.
DJ, I'd be
Yes.
all over it, but he's just a guy.
Dude, this was like 4 years ago. I don't know what you want from me.
At the height of
Not
Star
jealous or
Wars.
anything.
Yeah, no.
Hot take. I still
Mad-
don't know who
mad
you're talking
jealous.
about.
Luke Skywalker.
motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
Or
Oh God, I'm canceled.
the one who
I
does
just
like...
got canceled.
I'm disowning you. I'm disowning you.
Yeah, you're easily able to find him. Every once in a while, a couple of the dancers is going like he's, as you would assume, popular. So like there's a couple of dancers trying to garner attention, but he's also with a couple people. So like you're able to, you can bump into him as you wish, but like right now he's just sitting down chatting with a couple of people, talking with a couple dancers.
Oh yeah, Sin waltzes over to go won't interrupt, but will sort of stand within eyesight and give a little nod.
He's like talking around with a couple of the people and eventually looks over to Bucky, who's one of the dancers, and like sees Sin and like looks back to Bucky, and like you see him be like, is that Sin? Like he's like doing like, is that who? And Bucky like turns and like gives a nod, a smile, a little bit of confusion still, and immediately you see fairly handsome Star Elf. That's an opinion, obviously, but like you know, objectively handsome individual, carries himself with like real good energy, but immediately walks up to you with a smile on your face like, are you the famous Sin that I've been hearing so much about?
The one and only baby, Sin Alamoad at your service.
Pleasure to meet
What
you.
can I do for you? Your reputation precedes you, Mr. Aster.
Oh,
what should I call you? What's your favorite
Aster,
title?
Aster's fine.
Aster,
Love
perfect.
Aster's. Some people go crazy with it, but I like Aster. Aster's great. Sin, my friend, I would love to hire you to give me some cooking lessons. I hear through the grapevine, and you look over, and Acello, one of the clerics of Selune, who was a cleric of Selune, or at least one of the people who did one of your cooking lessons that you did for the Church of Selune, seems to be there. Seems to be very starstruck by this entire thing in general, but he's like, I heard from Acello over here that you gave amazing cooking lessons to the entire congregation. I would love either a private session or if you don't mind me bringing a few friends, a few other additional people. prefer if it's one-on-one, but if you like to have more company, I'm always down for more. If you need anything, any supplies, it's wherever you want it to be. It can be at my place. It can be, we can rent out a top of the rift for an afternoon, or if you want to do it here, whatever would work for you.
Well, this is a dream come true. Obviously, the short answer is yes, and I am likewise easily amenable to however you think is best to proceed. I do think that you probably have yourself a very fine establishment that I would like to check out. I think it would be fascinating to see your pad and your place, and then you don't have to go too far afterwards, especially if everyone's drinking and everything. You don't have to walk across the city or any of that. Um, but yeah, that sounds on it. I'm very flattered. I'm glad the people at the temple had a great time. I try to, provide a nice, safe, fun atmosphere, get people to try out some different things. So yeah, that sounds perfect. We can talk, details and logistics later, but this is I'd be on it. I mean, I don't want me to interrupt your party. You seem like you're having a good time with all your guests.
Oh, I mean,
But yeah, let's mark something down and get together and get things cooking.
I mean, you looking at it, it's a cello, and I don't know if you've met the other members, but there's also a small water genasi, Tilda, as well, are with him, and he's dancing with Bucky, who is basically the apprentice of our wonderful Temerity. So he's like, oh no, I would love it if we can potentially. I'd love to get all of the Selune members again, and I'm glad to rent out the top of the rift. It's their kitchen, from what I hear. Haven't been back there before. It's gonna be my first time. I hear it's extensive and wonderful. TM and Lysandra get wonderful reviews, so I'm sure they wouldn't mind a little extra pay for that. And then, honestly, you tell me
Perfect. I
how
didn't want
much
to
it
put you out of
costs.
your way, but yeah, the top
It's
of the Rift kitchens, I've always wanted to get behind those.
exactly. Yeah, and you let me know how much it cost. Whatever works for you. And yeah, if we can do it in the next day or two, I would or yeah, the next Sunday or Moon Day, I'd very much appreciate it. If we have to wait until after the festival, I understand, but I'd really like to get a little capability under my belt before the festival comes.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds good. I'll check my schedule, but plans this evening and whatnot. But no, the next 2 days, I don't think there's too much on there, so we can make something work nicely for everybody.
Perfect. He hands you this little folded up bird, piece of paper, like origami bird, and puts it in your hand and says, just give me any specific details you want. Give me what pay you want, any additionals. And again, as long as you're fine with it, since you've met them all before, if you don't mind inviting them, I will book a cello and Tilda and see if they'll bring in some extra people from the church as well. But I would love it if you seem to have contacts because you already did a cooking experience for them once. I'm sure they wouldn't say no to a second one.
Yeah, I will. I'm happy to take care of the invites. I will say that it makes a big difference if you're the one with the name on the invitation as opposed to me with my name on the invitation. You're a little bit more famous around here. So,
Just write Sin and Aster. We'll share the title. Man, I'm
oh,
sure
putting
they'll
my
come
name
for both of
first?
us.
You are too kind, sir.
It doesn't matter to me. It's fine either way.
Perfect. Well, sounds good. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm gonna put some planning together, and we'll have ourselves a great night.
Of course, it sounds wonderful. Shakes your hand again, gives you a smile, and goes back and sits down with the others. Now that that was dealt with, what are the rest of you partygoers doing if there's anything before Clyde shows up? Obviously, we're getting Asunar all primed and preemed, or Runasa, I believe was the name. The expertly crafted name by Sin Alamoad.
I need to go check with Bucky, see how Bucky's doing.
Sure. Are you just trying to check her like while she's working with Aster, or are you just like in general how she's doing overall?
Well, just mostly just overall, seeing if she needs anything, wants to do like a partner dance or something tonight. It was like a special thing. And just see if she's all right. Like, if her feet hurt and she needs some tips on
Or hooves.
and hoof care, which I could
Or
definitely
hoof
not help
care.
with, but I would try to.
You could have Hex do it. You love
Yeah.
that.
He comes out with his farrier apron on with the big clips.
Yep. I'm ready. Yeah. No. But you
Get your
come.
foot up there.
Yeah, you come see Bucky. She's red faced as hell. Just because of the experience with Esther. Looks like she made some decent tips off of that, but she's like, that was amazing. Some weird energy. I don't know how I feel about it, but it was great. It was a good experience. Most of it was talking. Is it talking more for you than I thought it was going to be more of the dancing thing, and we keep practicing all the dancing things, but I keep ending up talking to people more than dancing.
Well, I would say that many people come to an establishment such as this for various reasons. Some considering someone like Aster, I can imagine that he wouldn't get much stimulating conversation in his day-to-day life, considering most of the people that surround him are groupies and people that are just fans and don't really see him as a real person. So I think that a lot of people that come here appreciate just being seen for who they are and treated just like real people and like you care about them and how they feel.
Is that what it's like for you? Because you're kind of like a star here, aren't you?
Oh, you flatter me, Bucky. Thank you. Um, it really depends on the client. I I do, yeah, it really varies. But that's another thing. It's as you become more well known and more skilled, perhaps you develop like signature moves and things like when you float yourself up the pole. That's definitely a calling card for you.
She
Um,
gets more
but those
blushy.
sorts of things, those sorts of things are what would draw people for that in particular. But if you'd be more interested in leaning into conversationalism, we also are very much companions as we are.
I don't mind. I thought my rear end, haha, was more of my selling point, anyways. But like, if people want to talk to me, that's wonderful. Um, uh, but yeah, if you're
Well,
free
it
tonight,
certainly isn't not, but twice the money is never a problem.
I can't complain. But yeah, if you are free and you do want to do a combination later, I'd be down for it. I know you're busy and running around a lot. I don't want to stress you out. But if you have the time, I would love to show you what I've been working on, and we could actually like, do some stuff together.
Yeah, never. No, this is my happy place. This is where I unwind from the day. And uh my favorite client is here tonight, so I think it'd be fun to give a little razzle to the usual show goings if you were down.
100%. She will follow your lead to whatever mayhem you are trying to cause. To is it Vito is your favorite client or
Yeah,
is your wife around? Okay.
no. She shows up whenever she wants,
Mm.
but like she hasn't come in a while. But I'll also just like make sure to be like, you seem to be doing really coming into your own here, and you're a far cry from the sort of timid nature you had when you first stepped hoof into the club. So I'm very proud of you.
She gets all blushy again. And she says, "Well, you want help with helping doing your friend's makeover? I saw all the others were getting in on it. Can I help?"
Yeah, absolutely. If you have any ideas, we're just totally open. I finally got her into like a flowy, nice long ombre wig. But if you have a better idea, I'm
No,
open.
she's just really pretty. Just walks off with you to go help with Asunar. Asunar, you get all primped and preened by the city's finest, who know what they're doing, and come out looking spectacular with another whole wig set. This is just gonna be like a daily thing for Asunar now. New wig, new makeup every day. Cool. Is there any final things you three would like to do before Clyde shows up? I'm just giving the opportunity for any additional stuff.
Could we do a bio break before that, please?
We can. Bio break. That's a fun way to put it. Cool. Guys, we're going to take a quick 5-10 minutes. We will be back in a little bit. As soon as I figure out the right thing to click. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Okay. See you guys in a little bit.
I feel like Connie can't contribute to the conversation right now. She's just staring angrily at her wall, like fuming quietly. She's gone from angry throwing stage to just
Trying to figure out if I have like a stress ball or something. I don't think so.
I can
think a
be.
stress ball is gonna cut it.
I can. A barbarian can be used as a stress ball. I'm debating.
The party is lightly interrogated, sees Leon tied up and exhausted. He was in magic people cuffs, like with all the fingers. It was fun. We are accepted into the tribe, given jobs and a place to stay for the night, and instructed to report back in the morning for more stuff. Scaldy runs into her brother, shoots him in the foot.
A classic.
They do a little
Classic
talking.
Scaldy.
Yeah.
That moment did become like a defining moment for Scaldy as a personality trait.
I do love I remember so clearly, it was like, you see your brother there, and then there's just this pause, and you had to be like, what do you do? And then the pause lingered, and then it was, shoot him in the foot. Just total throwaway.
I was thinking of which was the least damaging to shoot.
Fair.
Is the pale visage.
Shh, go read it.
That looked pretty wild. I liked it. I think there's a reason that he made it so we couldn't buy it even with our combined wealth.
Is it alright? Me?
Hmm?
Is it alright if I read it out loud, the description?
Hell yeah.
Okay. With a spiderweb crack on the center forehead gilded with star metal, this pure white mask is made of a singular white Vincent.
Vinny?
Vinny! A singular white dragon scale. Peering through the mask, you see the world in odd hues and shades. You gain +2 to your AC and intimidation skill when attuned.
Dude!
Didn't we? I just talked to you guys.
Yes, darling, catch up.
Probably the least liked. Things that smelled awful, ratty mud off the street, and Onolove explained it as, if you give even the worst thing a chance to be better, there's a good chance it might happen.
Neither of us belong here. And that's it.
It's fine. It was... I belong here. Look, I had a long Sunday. Is it we don't belong in the Undercity? We don't belong on Wishfall? We don't belong in Vagari? Can you be more specific, please? There's just like a lot of different places.
She will spend 3 first level spell slots to answer. I'm gonna kill you,
At least
Vinny.
you're about to get your rest.
Yeah, no, thank fuck.
And hang out and have some family time crossover. Yeah, you're able to...
I mean, might as well teach them how to do it. I mean, it doesn't hurt to know how to make a healing potion.
Yep.
And remember, a family that heals together feels together.
Family that fights together might die together.
This is also potentially true.
Regardless, someosone's gonna take a knee.
As you guys get to spend some time.
The crying.
Smoke inhalation.
And she smoke inhalation. And she
That's amazing.
Sid gets a sending message and just hears in their minds.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
Here's,
Oh fuck.
here's, Mama, I haven't failed you yet. Much improved. Where the hell have you been? Miss you. Fuck 'em up.
I will say you don't got that message.
What?
What?
You're not playing that character right now. You don't know what's going on. Sid, you have a nice daydream about a message from Maybe.
Oof.
Vinny. Ow.
Vincent, the fuck?
Round. How are we feeling, guys?
I am not feeling good.
Just fucking peachy.
Cool.
Did I take any damage from that real quick?
Oh, you took 14 damage. Thank you for reminding me.
So happy to help.
Never remind him.
Hey, did we have homework last night?
That was.
I'm not drowning.
That was,
I am sleeping so good.
that was kind of the. That was kind of the energy that got tossed out.
Through observation, we've
Theoretically.
learned how important it is to keep it to oneself.
All right, Lyra, town girl.
What's Bells doing? Yeah, I want to know how Bells is feeling right now.
He's giving shade! Talk shit, get shit!
Two. Once Bells has taken a few moments to process, they are.
You know what? Temerity's saying that to Asunar.
I'm gonna be real. Have you ever held a weapon before?
Oh, many a weapon, you would be surprised.
I'm not talking about
You set
your
it up.
dick. I am not talking about your dick or someone else's dick. I'm talking about something you could... Something...
Nothing you say
you could
is going to
stab
help.
with.
Nothing
Nothing
you
I've-
say is going to make it better.
Something you might potentially murder someone with.
Both of you to assume my
You can
part.
murder...
Thank you.
Connie, you can murder someone with a dick.
This is news to me.
Smoking like a true lesbian. Happy
think a
Pride Month,
lesbian-
everyone.
5e monk class things just by typing in crazy gun monk in Google.
That sounds
surprising.
That sounds super correct. Yeah, Kensai
Yeah,
monks with
technically-
guns are really.
Technically speaking, thanks to Tasha's, gun monk can officially be a thing.
It is. I made a bunch. It was great.
Oh my God.
It was really fun.
I hate this!
Oh, they were great.
Next to Arc, Crazy Gun Monks. Party
Yes.
name.
Yeah, sure. I'll recommend that to the Dark Arc people.
I
Do you guys want to go get tattoos?
fuck this.
Yes, tattoos. And
I would
then
like a
maybe
tattoo, Papa.
Stab me, daddy.
You didn't like that, Connie? I mean, Mel.
I got worse. It got worse when
When Nova talked?
yes.
Yeah, I do that. I'm sorry.
Ooh,
Diva Nation at the Fuzzy Dragon. Come tonight and try out voices, Diva Nation.
No,
Funny
you're
shit.
good.
It's funny as
It
shit.
hurts now.
Yeah, full stress to full laughter does that.
I'm gonna mute now. I'll be right back.
You go to your thing.
I still think we should put in the fine print that, may induce death later on if you don't come up with the good catchphrase and transform properly.
All right, I'm coming around on this.
That's what I heard from our first meeting. So,
Must
I
be
mean,
okay
I'm all
with
for
hair
it.
color changes, and sometimes skin tone color changes, and sometimes physical species changes as well. We don't know. What if you pull the dog card and someone turns into a dog?
Okay, I'm back in.
That's gonna be confusing.
I mean, not to be a person of a singular track mind, but you know, that's the way the kid wants to go, is just down that one tunnel instead of laying out into these other ones. We can always check them on our way back, but
Did you just make a one-track mind joke?
yes, I did. Fuck off.
God. Awful.
Fen
Listen.
meows an annoyance.
I give him scritches.
George just happy to be alive.
Yeah,
George is
just hanging out, just
George is
trotting
just
along.
doing his
Goes up to
best.
Sid, hoping for some pets.
Oh, yeah.
Been a
Gets,
minute.
Sid just picks him up and he's like, oh, hi, buddy.
Oh my god.
I mean, there's people. But there's not like a lot of people, but people.
Oh, I didn't know. I assumed we were the only 4 in the shop, so that's my mistake.
Well, I mean, his shop is kind of like an outdoor stall. Like, again, he's literally like that guy from the opening from Aladdin, where it's like it's
Mel, the face.
My
I want
mistake.
that. I want that face as our new group chat.
no. Please no.
It's happening.
Seriously, me. For fuck's
trees, and it's like those could make some cool toys. It's some good wood.
Yeah,
Some nice
like
bark.
that would make a good grave. Like I think the justification is that would make a good grave. I would not bury somebody there.
Don't bury somebody into that dirt. Don't do it.
We're not burying anyone here. We can't kill anyone because we can't bury them
I
here.
want to know what justifies as bad dirt now.
Like if it's
You
not going to
should
be like
know.
good quality, if
In
it's not
nature.
going to, yeah, you would know
No,
too.
not as Lyra.
wait. So
I really want like pixie form of like Eldritch Blast.
That's not me though.
all right, Mickey Mouse.
Through observation, we've
Theoretically.
learned how important it is to keep it to oneself.
All right, Lyra, town girl.
What's Bells doing? Yeah, I want to know how Bells is feeling right now.
She's giving shade! Talk shit, get shit!
2. Once Bells has taken a few moments to process, they are
The crying.
Smoke inhalation.
Smoke inhalation. And she
That's amazing.
I still think we should put in the fine print that, may induce death later on if you don't come up with the good catchphrase and transform properly.
All right, I'm coming around on this.
That's what I heard from our first meeting. So,
Must
I
be
mean, I'm
okay
all
with
for
hair
it.
color changes, and sometimes skin tone color changes, and sometimes physical species changes as well. We don't know. What if you pull the dog card and someone turns into a dog?
Okay, I'm back in.
That's gonna be confusing.
Probably the least liked. Things that smelled awful, ratty mud off the street, and Onolove explained it as if you give even the worst thing a chance to be better, there's a good chance it might happen.
Neither of us belong here. That's it.
It's fine. It was. I belong here. Look, I had a long Sunday. Is it we don't belong in the Undercity? We don't belong on Wishfall? We don't belong in Vagari? Can you be more specific, please? There's just like a lot of different places.
She will spend 3 first level spell slots to answer. I'm gonna kill you,
At least
Vinny.
you're about to get your rest.
Yeah, no, thank fuck.
Didn't we? I just talked to you guys.
Yes, darling, catch up.
I mean, there's people. But There's not like a
What
lot
col-
of people, but people.
Oh, I didn't know. I assumed we were the only 4 in the shop, so that's my mistake.
Well, I mean, his shop is kind of like an outdoor stall. Like again, he's literally like that guy from the opening from Aladdin, where it's like it's
Mel, the face.
My
I want
mistake.
that. I want that face as our new group
Please
chat.
no. Please no.
It's happening.
Seriously me. For fuck's
5e monk class things just by typing in crazy gun monk in Google.
that sounds
surprising.
That sounds super correct. Yeah, Kensai
Yeah,
monks with
technically-
guns are really.
Technically speaking, thanks to Tasha's, gun monk can officially be a thing.
It is. I made a bunch. It was
Oh
great.
my God.
It was really fun.
I hate this.
Oh, they were great.
Next to Arc, Crazy Gun Monks. Party
Yes.
name.
Yeah, sure. I'll recommend that to the Dark Arc people. Alright.
I
Do you guys want to go get tattoos?
fuck this.
Yes, tattoos.
I
And
would
then
like a
maybe
tattoo, Papa.
Stab me, daddy.
You didn't like that, Connie? I mean, Mel.
I got worse. It got worse when
When Nova talked?
Yes.
Yeah, I do that. I'm sorry.
Diva Nation at the Fuzzy Dragon. Come tonight and try out voices, Diva Nation.
I mean, not to be a person of a singular track mind, but you know, that's the way the kid wants to go, is just down that one tunnel instead of laying out into these other ones. We can always check them on our way back, but
Did you just make a one-track mind joke?
yes, I did. Fuck off.
God. Awful.
Fen
Listen.
meows an annoyance.
I give him scritches.
George, just happy to be alive.
Yeah,
George is
just hanging out, just
George is
trotting
just
along.
doing his
Goes up to
best.
Sid, hoping for some pets.
Oh yeah,
Been a
gets,
minute.
Sid just picks him up and he's like, "Oh, hi, buddy."
Oh my god.
I really want like pixie form of like Eldritch Blast.
That's not me, though.
All right.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow?
I decided I wanted to say ka-chow. Leave me alone. All right.
There we go.
We are back. And we are continuing our journey of fucking around at the Jeweled Chalice, which is, I think, a perfect euphemism.
We're about to find out.
Did you hear that?
No, what?
Oh, okay, good. Never mind.
I was talking, so I did not hear anything.
No, I was just wondering if you could hear my in-laws running around upstairs.
No, that sounds hilarious, though. All right. So before Clyde shows up, I'm gonna give you guys one more chance. Is there any other things that you three would like to do before that happens?
Say it.
I don't know what Asunar is gonna do, because I don't want to just sit around.
Now use disguise self on yourself. Just add layers upon layers. I mean, you
I
do have
don't
detect
actually have-
thoughts. You have a fair amount of very utility helpful spells, so you could. I'm sure you could figure out something.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
that
could do a detect thoughts where you actually go for the aggressive detect thoughts, and when he catches you, we could just do a whole nother makeover sequence.
I mean, we do outfit changes in minutes backstage.
Yeah. We could also be nice to my dinner guest.
Or you could just go pester Aster Montego, see what his deal is.
Ooh, detect thoughts on him.
Oh my god,
That might
are
be a
there
good
any?
idea.
This is a question I need answered.
All right.
I'll do that.
Extra actions. Okay, cool. You're gonna cast detect thoughts and go bug Aster. Cool. Are you going up and interacting, or are you just listening to like his thoughts as he's doing stuff, hanging with people?
At first, I'm just gonna listen in, and after a while, I might go and bother him.
see. What is most smile a moment resignation?
It's blank. There are none. All he thinks about is Sin and how he wants to cook with him.
You hear. In his thoughts, he's participating in like conversations and stuff's going on, but like when there's a moment to relax and like pay attention to performance, you just hear names going through his mind. You hear, what about Nick, Honey?
Those specific names?
Mhm.
Or it's just the first that came to your mind?
Me looking through it and making sure I'm not missing anybody. It's hard when only half the stuff is public and half the other half is private. Already, it's like we did Nell. Working on Judy. What about Nick and Lonnie? What can I do? And then like you hear some like abstract thoughts of like, ooh, that was cool. Like if like someone like if he's paying attention to performance, you hear like things related to that as well. And then there's like conversation going on, talking with Cello and Tilda. And it's like, are you listening to the conversations as well, like the normal conversations, or are you mainly just focusing on thoughts? Okay, roll me a perception check, which like I'm not super worried considering you have bonkers.
I don't have my character sheet up, but I got a 17. I don't know what the addition is. Hold on.
+5, I believe, because you have a 24-year passive. So 22.
What? 1 second. My dog is playing with my sword. I have to do something.
Yep. So that's a 22.
22. You hear him ask, so besides cooking, what else did Judy like to do? And Tilda is like, hey, well, I didn't get to know her like super. I only knew her for like a couple months, but I mean, she seems sweet. She really liked the church. And Cello is like, I mean, honestly, I don't know if cooking was even her favorite. I think she did it just because she like had to do it for the church, but she did make some great recipes. She had some really good ones. But she really liked to go out with Nick. Honestly, that was like her favorite thing. Is like they would go out and like they were more low key than most. They went to basically like it's called name of everything that he made. Let me find it. They go down to Market's Way, and they pick out some like fresh produce. Sometimes it would be stuff they would just eat on the spot. Very funny. I got to third wheel for them once. They were disgusting, but it was fun. And in Master's Mind, you see food centric. Dedication? No. Cook off? No. Dishes. What type of dishes? And it's like, is there anything that they like really like to make together? Was there like a dish or like a dessert or something? And he's like, well, I think Nick did this one more. I don't know why. He really liked sorbet. Like he made a very good sorbet. Judy made great pies. I don't know if you could try those together, but I'm sure that they would have been delicious, tasty treat. He's like, okay, sorbet. Pie. It's like, okay, cool. And then when like things calm down and they're relaxing, and then like one of the performers comes over and talks, for a while. He gets distracted again, but he's like, honey, and didn't Nick like? And it's a lot of that. It's like circling between, as far as you can tell, at least 2 of the last victims, and he's trying to like figure things out about them. And he's like, just gonna review my notes, see what I can figure out, and just thoughts like that.
We're gonna have to work with this guy, aren't we?
That is a character option and not something you have to do.
Oh god, I love it. Vincent, you diabolical monster.
All right. So I make a mental note to oh, he's asking questions. Fuck.
As you're doing that, not too long after, a couple noticeable groups walk in. One, from those of you who have been down under, which I believe is everybody at this point has been to the Undercity, you see quite a few people, for those that are there, see people like dressed in the very neon glow aesthetics from the Undercity, the underground, which is very rare up here. Most people don't normally wear, 1, these clothes, or 2, like, if you're known from the underground, you don't normally come up here. But they're like wide-eyed and amazed as they walk in here, like looking around, checking this place out. They're like, it's like Disneyland for the first time for them in a couple aspects, I'm sure. And they are just like they are like floored by, like, they go over to like the bar set up, and or some really, I'm assuming the Jewel Chalice has some really ostentatious like thematic drinks
Oh,
of some sort.
absolutely.
Do you have
They
any that you know for sure?
well, you've got the stirring sapphire, which is like a nice blue liqueur with tequila sitting at the bottom, so you get like a nice little kind of bee sting moment where it just shocks you at the bottom. And every drink that's gem themed has those cool like crystal clear diamond shaped ice cubes in it.
I like your aesthetic. Yeah, cool. 100%. So they're ordering these amazing drinks, and they're like having a great time, and they go down, sitting down for the some of the performance. What is Cinn and Temerity's passive perceptions? I already know what Tamaris is.
It's garbage.
And are you guys working or in the front right now, or are you guys just hanging out like in the front? Because Cinn, I know you're waiting to hang out. I don't know if Temerity is getting ready to work or actually like doing stuff up front.
Yeah, I'm getting
Cinn would
ready to
be
work.
Hanging out. Yes, Cinn would be hanging out in the front room, putting in like orders of tapas, so that when Clyde comes, we've got a tons of different things for him to try. Really run the gauntlet on his palate.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
My
then it's
passive
gonna be
perception is 10.
Sounds about right. Awesome.
17.
I don't care about anything but myself.
All right, 17 and 20, you both hear this. You hear like one of the guys, but all right, guys, we're gonna have a good time on thanks to Delton's winnings, right? Yeah, go Delton! And they like just start going, and like apparently thanks to Delton's continuous winning streak that's been going on, they've got enough money to come up to the surface and splurge the chalice for a little bit. So they're spending silver like crazy, and then gold like right after. Like they're definitely, they're not cheap with the gold, but they seem to have more silver to spare than gold. But they're spending some good money. Not too long after that, Clyde eventually comes in. Seems to be in more normal clothes for the most part. The vulture seems to be sitting on his back now, kind of like almost like a sort of a backpack type thing with the little head just like next to it, looking around. But he just seems to be wearing just like a as casual of an outfit as you probably are if your whole life is working as a security guard. So let you guys imagine that. We've walking around. His hair seems to like never seem to have done this before. Seem to be purposefully covering up the metal now on his head. So he's just walking around, looking around, seeing people.
I'll flag him down, invite him to the table, and get a nice spread of tapas and appetizers and dipping sauces because he has amnesia. So I want him to try as many different things as possible so he has the nice chance to figure out what his taste buds are into.
Nice. I'm going to... I don't know enough about a taste palette. So we have receptors for
fine.
5 kinds of...
That's really just the cover story is, all the foods and drinks, and they're trying to get questions about, activities and the small talk. That's sort of the olive branch and the back scratching. What is Cinn is interested in trying to get more information about the... He can't reveal that he knows that there's a contract, like a demonic contract involved, but he is curious in what the Ashen Industries, what sort of maybe illicit things they might be doing, or any who signed the deal, or who their go-to person is if someone else was gonna get a similar insurance policy on themselves.
Cool. Yeah. One, you have a very velvety smooth voice, Durs. Can you move your mic just a little closer?
Yes.
Thank you very much. It's all velvety smooth and delicious, but I just want to make sure we can hear it.
Perfect.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, so you come up and you offer food. I'll let you know like right away. Like he seems to lead towards the salty over like the sweet or the savory. As that's going on, as you guys like are having some casual conversation and you're talking about stuff, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check to just see how that's going. Temerity and Asunar, if you guys are doing anything relative to this, let me know as this is going on.
Oh, and infringe.
I was gonna go over there, but Aster's mind is very interesting right now.
Oh, are you sitting with that for a while?
Yeah, I'm definitely sitting nearby having like a drink that looks like it's an alcoholic drink, but it's not. It's a fake one, just to keep a clear mind, but
I won't do anything related to what Durs is doing.
Okay.
Something else, maybe.
All right, what are you doing then, Temerity, if you have a thing? If not, I can wait and go on with those two, but it's up to you.
Oh, I would just, I want to go back and check on Vito because he seemed really stressed.
Sure.
Check on
Did he go back to your room, or is he out on the main floor chilling with people?
I assumed that he was out on the main floor because I wasn't really even in my room.
Cool. Yeah. So he's out here too. I don't think does he know the plan of what you guys are doing, or is he just chilling? He was there for the conversation, right? So like he probably knows that you guys are doing something, but it's not actively being with it.
Yeah, I mean, he's welcome to do something if he has an idea or like propose an idea. Maybe not do something without talking about it first, but for the most part, I think he was invited along to kind of unwind. I'll like grab him a couple drinks to help him cool off. Talk to him a little bit.
He is down. He's down to have a weird. He's down to hang out and have a good time. Yeah, I mean this is your stalking ground. So he like looked towards you and he's like, "So, are you performing tonight, or are we just gonna sit and watch some of your coworkers and see what kind of shows they put on, or is there anything in particular we're looking out for?"
Well, I will be performing. We'll be doing something very special for you this evening. So I hope that... Yeah, of course. You're my favorite.
Really? I could only imagine the type of amazing customers that you garner. Little old detective me?
You keep my life interesting.
Yeah, you do the same. Thank you for introducing me to all your friends, by the way. I'm very excited to be hanging out at the collective more with the really terrifying knowledge that you guys are just slowly spiraling throughout the city doing something.
Yes, it is. It's unsettling for us too. Don't worry. That feeling is mutual. But this evening, you overheard the conversation where, and I'll kind of like chin gesture um to Sin and Clyde. So we're keeping an eye on that, seeing what we can learn, and then I'll kind of tilt my head over back towards where Aster is and say, "That's really weird. I've only seen him here once, and that was to, I think, ironically apply for our one of our open positions recently. So it's kind of interesting to see him here."
To remind you, you're the one who requested Aster to show up and perform. I was not going to make it happen. You're the one who did.
Oh yeah.
You, the
That was
player, not the character.
OOC. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's your own fault, but that's fine. He says, all right, so keep an eye on them, keep an eye on them, keep an eye on you. Yeah. We can go find a place to relax for a little bit before you go up, unless you need to get ready. I know you're always ready, I'm sure, but
That's a good one. Yes. Well, I mean, is Bucky, when we parted ways, was she good with the routine?
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. Then yeah, we can chill.
You guys go over, find a place to relax. With an eyesight of like the two other weird situations going on, so if like something happens, like you guys know, but like far enough away that you guys can relax and enjoy the moment.
I'll grab a sorry, I totally had a brain fart just I'll grab an effervescent emerald drink and the
Rockin' Ruby.
Rockin' Ruby.
Just keep making
That's
up.
Scarlett's favorite.
All right. Hold on. Oh, no, I can only do one person. I was gonna say, I would like to message two people simultaneously. That's not a thing I can do.
No,
but it's a
you
cantrip.
can boom boom.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do Temerity first because they're closer, and I'm just gonna relay the information that I'm learning from Aster, and I'm just like, I don't know why he's so interested in, like, the people that have died, but, like, he's trying to find information about Judy, Nick, and Lonnie. And he's just asking a lot of questions right now. And I also relay that to Sin as well.
I'll just kind of like make eye contact with Asunar across the room briefly to like show that like I heard her, and just continue not letting on that I just received a message.
Yeah, Sin will message back. Yeah, I've got eyes on Clyde. That Asta angle's pretty interesting. Yeah, if you want to keep eyes on him.
Then yeah, Temerity, you and Vito are able to just have a good time until eventually you perform. He I don't know how serious you two are getting, but it feels like it's getting more serious. So he's gonna do the next step thing, which is start asking you about your family. So
Really?
Yep.
Okay. It's an interesting ask. Well, I am the member of a large family. I have 4 siblings, mother, father. They live Earthside, excepting one, which was a recent discovery for me. I have a beautiful wife and that's pretty much the extent of my family. What about you?
Big
Do you have
family.
family in the city?
Not in the city anymore. I mean, I have probably a cousin up here, but there's not a lot of changelings. There's a fair amount, but most of us are up here. Um, my family was actually down Earthside for a while. My dad was from the Underdark. It was a weird times. Getting up here was lucky, I guess. I don't know how it happens, to be honest. I went through a schooling for police work, for like actual detective work. I didn't know they had those. I thought they only had colleges and schools for bards and wizards, but then lo and behold, I guess people with sticky fingers and some cunning also have some places to learn too. So I graduated, I guess is the best way to put it, and they gave me a specific medal and said, go to this location on a map, which was real weird. And then I found the portal, and apparently he holds out like a badge, and he's like, apparently my badge was the medal that I needed to get in. It was a real weird way to figure out that I got a job, if I'm being honest. But it's been a crazy, city. It's like when there aren't murders going on, it's the best. Wish I came here more often beforehand, though. Nice to know that it exists now.
It's certainly nice. It takes a little digging sometimes, but you can find some real, forgive me, some real gems if you dig hard enough.
You ever thought of working more than one place at the same time? Or is like here enough for you? You seem to love it here, but I was just curious.
Like, more clubs?
Yeah. I know the gentle harp is next door, but they seem to have a different vibe, so I don't know if that's...
Oh, yes, I'm not allowed to work there.
No.
They're a little bit more about the straight to the point.
Gotcha. What about the Thankful Club up in the Manor region?
Thankful?
Yeah, the Thankful Club.
Have I heard of this place?
You most likely have. It's in the wheelhouse of where your jobs work. So there's what's considered the high end gentleman's club, basically. That is like specifically up in the Manor district, where the Manor is where the top of the rift and all that stuff is. It's like where you guys get tip gold, they get tip platinum, probably. Like it's like the next tier considerably, but that's a matter of opinion. And like you don't know, like you probably haven't like been there unless you wanted to have gone there at some point. But it's less thematic and fun. It's more like a slow sensual experience than like the fun that you guys have and the different options that you guys have. It's like they have a very specific clientele.
How do people that work at the Chalice feel about the Thankful Club?
I want to make a roll for that. I would say workers versus like Sabinet probably have different feelings. Sabinet's just like, it's some friendly competition. It's fine. They work up there, we work down here, and we got a good crowd and everything. Like you guys have a great reputation, so it's not like you guys are like in the muck or anything. You guys are well known and well established and are enjoyed. Some of the other people might be a little more pissy of being like, well, maybe they didn't get hired there because specifically they look for a very specific type of an employee, whatever that may be. But it's more likely that the individual employees have a problem with it from being shunned or not allowed to work there, versus like Sabinet, who's just like, it's another whole business and we don't even bother with that.
Gotcha. Maybe I'll have to take a jaunt. Sounds fun.
I'm down to
scoping.
treat if you want to relax and get a dance yourself for once from some new unknowns.
But to answer his question, I'll say, I haven't really thought about it. This, I wouldn't say it's a hobby. It is a passion. I do very much love entertaining, and find this to be a talent or skill of mine, that I enjoy cultivating, and I also enjoy cultivating in others. It's a very freeing experience. So I would say I'm not so much a where do I want to go, as much as I'm glad I'm here.
That's a good way to look at it. Wasn't trying to offend. I just was like, I was
Oh,
curious.
not at all. I didn't take it that way. I don't really know that the kind of elevation structure that's typical of businesses such as yours really occurs in businesses such as mine.
That's fair. I mean, I don't know that I'm going anywhere after this anyways. I'm not going to look to... I don't want to be the chief of police. I don't want to be the commissioner. I like going out and solving things. Not as much as Kanitae. That image board was some fine work that most other detectives would have been jealous of and a little terrified of, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I like what I
She's
do.
eccentric in her investigation, but it's a charming quality of hers.
I can see how some people would think that, for sure.
The dig.
Look, when he met Connie, she overloaded his circuits with crazy information.
Fair.
You guys can chill and relax for a little bit. At some point, if you want to have a performance, we can put that on. I'm gonna shift back to Asunar and then shift back to Cinn. Asunar, as you are continuing to listen, the thoughts don't change too much. There's still a couple more questions here and there that get asked, but they still seem to be relatively similar to the same thing that was asked before. It's like, did you guys know Lonnie at all? Anything in particular about our old newscaster? I know we've got a wonderful new one now. Aaron seems to be doing a great job, but we... I'm just curious, and I wouldn't say anyone really knew Lonnie super well. So there's not any direct answers that you get straight after that. They're like, they seem to be sweet. They really like to dig around in the dirt. You could find them all over. Acello, who's been here for a while, is like, I once saw Lonnie just climbing up somebody's fire escape once. It was weird. I'm sure it was important, whatever they were doing, but I try not to. A newscaster's got a newscast. And so I was like, I never really got to meet them. I saw them at the gallery before. Yeah. It's like, and then in the mind, no one really knows much. Do a little digging. Check out Lonnie's apartment, maybe. It just thoughts related to that. And then thoughts get new flowers. Check out Wisteria's. And then they go back to thinking between Lonnie and Nick, and then go back to Judy. It's very circular. It seems to be circling around those things and then focusing on what's happening in front of him, but doesn't seem to be going beyond those things.
Weird.
Do you want to either press deeper or switch to anybody else, or just stay as you are?
I'm gonna press deeper.
Okay. Check and see how this goes. And then Cinn, we'll go back in time a little bit and let you and Clyde have some interactions before, whether this goes good or bad, this pops off. As an action, you can shift your attempt or probe deeper into the same creature's mind. They make a wisdom saving throw. I gotta find there's character sheet. Let's roll the dice first, because if it's a nat 20 or a nat 1, at least we know where we're standing. Ooh, it's bad.
Bad as in he failed the roll?
Most
likely.
likely.
He failed the save?
He most likely failed. It is a wisdom save. Yeah, no, he failed that shit. Rolled an 8. Is there anything in particular you are looking for in here? Asunar. Ranusa. What are we looking for brain wise? What are you trying to scribbly scramble around in his head for?
I just want to know why he's asking all these questions when he's usually self-centered as fuck. Why is he caring about other people all of a sudden?
Yeah, he's not allowed to be a 3-dimensional NPC.
No, it's not allowed. He's a dick. I don't like him.
Roll.
And it's not just because Connie doesn't like him. I just don't like him either.
Cool. Roll me a spell attack. This is just to judge like how deeply you're getting in. You're not like smushing his brain or anything.
Alright, how do my spell attack work? Oh, that's another 22.
Hey, that's solid. The people around him seem to get a little concerned as he kind of not shuts down, but like he just like he gets stuck in one position for a bit where he's just like grunting really hard, holding his head for a moment, and you see like a cello and tells her, "Are you okay?" But he doesn't seem to really be responding to any of that. You see a few quick flashes. Let's see. Yeah, you get a few quick flashes. You get images of him in the underground. You get images of him in the underground with a bunch of other kids, with him also being a child. You see him getting up on tables as a kid and doing some dances, like kicking people's foods off of tables and making some of the kids laugh. And you see what is probably like a matron of the orphanage come over and like knock him off the table and say, "Sit back down, eat your food, leave the other kids alone." And you see the rest of the kids like get really like shudder into themselves for a moment. From that flash, you go over to a different image, which is him sneaking out of the underground, figuring out one of the passageways, and going into the Evergreen Mall for the first time, exploring like from where he was in the underground to like the Evergreen. This is before it was the mall itself. This is when it was. There was like a couple shops with things here and there, but it was more like run by a woman who like took care of all the plant life here. So this place just was overgrown with different types of plants, and like there were some people at like a corner in here, and they were selling things, but he would go and like steal some food, or just like grab like a flower or something and put it in his hair, and go stand out on the street corner and busk a little bit with some dance moves. And one of the things that echoes is you hear what they call him when they announce him, and they call him the Star, the city star. And you hear that echo, and as it goes back to when he's a kid, he says, "I'm gonna find a way to get us up there, and we need to make it so the bottom of the city and the top of the city are both doing good. People down below shouldn't be dealing with all the crazy crap they're doing. So I'm gonna get to the top. I'm gonna be the thing that no one else can say no to, that no one can say no to. And then everything's going to go bottom up. We're going to make everything down below as good as it is up top." And then you see a couple memories after the first death, when Nell died. You see a quick image of him consoling Azaran, saying, I know how much he loved your paintings. I'm gonna paint him. I'm gonna make him something special. It's gonna be stupid. I can't do it well, but I'm gonna make something." You see him hiring another artist from the city to show him how to paint, so that way he could make something for the exhibition. And then you see the most recent memory, which is him talking to Cinn and being like, this is what Judy loved. She loved to cook. We're gonna figure out, and we're gonna make something special for her. After a few moments of that, you see him freeze over a bit. Like, no, it's fine. He begins looking around wildly because I'm pretty sure they know that you did it. That somebody does it. But you are in a place that's pretty crowded with a lot of people. Succeeds. It sees the spell ends. Either way, the target knows that you are probing into its mind unless you shift your attention to another creature. Try to make it intelligent. So it allows basically a intelligence check battle. So we're gonna do that to see if he can figure out who it was doing it. So I need you to roll a d20 and add your intelligence modifier. I'll let you know. He doesn't have a high intelligence.
How dare you make me like this man?
All
How
right, that's
fucking dare you?
That's only a 9.
He rolled a 2 plus 1. He rolled a 3. So he gets this
What
headache.
the fuck?
He gets this headache. His eyesight's blurred for a moment. He begins looking around, and he's squinting. He's like squinting in your direction, but like his vision just can't stay focused. So he's just like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, ladies. You guys can stay here if you want, or if you want me, I can escort you back to the church. I just need to. I think I need to go. My head really hurts. I would love it. I hope you heard me talking to Cinn. I would love if you guys could both come. I don't know when it's going to be yet, but I'm sure you'll know about the same time as I do. I'll make sure of it. And Tilda and Cello both leave with him. He's still like wildly looking around, like as presentable as he can be. But his head is still like churning around, trying to figure out where the fuck he just got mind probed from. But yeah, they leave 2 minutes after that. It was very good on the roll. Well, not very good. It was very bad on his roll, which worked in your favor. Cool. So no drama starts there. You get a bunch of new information. So Temerity's doing that. Asunar just finished that up. Cinn, you and Clyde are hanging out. What was your original question, and what did you roll for your persuasion check? I'm so sorry.
No, you were fine. I even tried to use my psionic vision to give myself advantage on this persuasion, but it did not help enough, and even with guidance, it was only a 9. And it was asking about the deal with which he made and the person who set it up, because it seems like a pretty sweet sort of insurance policy that Cinn is interested in. If something were to happen to him, knowing that that wouldn't be the end of it, that doesn't seem half bad.
Well, I will say you're not going to get a lot of information. He did roll a 6 for like an insight check against you, so he didn't roll real well either. But because you guys both rolled real low, it's not going to be like a super lot of information. It's like, I met the owners, I think, once. I think Tengu and Ugnet were their names. They pair of, I assume, brothers, maybe Devati. Devati seem to be more and more common every time I see them. But I met with them, and I say met. I woke up with this, and I met with them once, and they talked to me, and I mean, at that time, I was grateful. I still am grateful. I don't know what was happening before, but it seemed like being dead, so I prefer this to whatever was the other option. The weird leaking I don't enjoy, though.
Have you determined any correlation with the leaking? Like, does it happen because when I'm sad, I cry. It's perfectly acceptable and normal for people to do so. So if you're experiencing emotions, that's a perfectly normal thing.
I assumed it's just an infection of having metal in my head, and like sometimes the excess has to come out, but I don't know if there's more behind that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really go to a normal doctor, I imagine. Does the Ashen Industries, they not have like a specialist that you have to check in with every now and then to make sure everything's working well?
They have a few wizards and I was gonna say an herb mage, but edge mage is what I meant, and a hedge wizard that I see. I get prescribed. It's just smoking tobacco. I swear it's just smoking tobacco. And
I
they
can get you stronger stuff.
would it? Do you know that it would help with this? Does it reduce infections or whatever this is? Inflammation.
Safety
I don't know what
first,
this is. I sincerely just try not to think about it, because the more I think about it, the less. And he just starts like touching it. He's like, I don't know if it helps or hurts to think about it.
Well, hey, no worries. I didn't mean to get too personal. We've got all sorts of food and tasting dips and dipping sauces and everything to try. So help yourself. The salty ones seem to be your favorite. We can get some more of that, more seasonings out there too for you.
I'm enjoying being out with someone and trying something new. I went around the Evergreen Mall a bit, but I really haven't explored much of the city, so this is a nice corner. And I mean, respectfully, oh my gosh, just like gestures at the performers.
Yeah, I also figured this would be a good gauge to see what kind of friction bits you are interested in. Not that anyone has to be interested in, friction bits or anything, but some people are, so this is a good way to sort of gauge where you are.
I require an emote. This is friction bits. It's my favorite quote of the night. Oh my god.
I guess.
It's just my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Not really. I just think it's hilarious.
As soon as we get follower emotes, you got it, buddy.
I'm sorry, just what kind of friction bits are you interested in? Is like
That's a phrase.
The wildest phrase.
I'm just stuck on friction bits.
It's
I wasn't even entirely sure it was what I thought it was. I was like, no, Rachel, stop having a dirty mind. Like, that's you.
No!
I'm renaming our fate points to friction bits.
Please
No, please.
Anyways.
I'm going to begin every date I ever go on with what sort of friction bits are you interested in?
He says he also does I'm gonna just say Clyde also does a double take, because hearing friction bits is an experience for the first time. So he's like, friction. And this is the first time against his pale skin you've seen anything accumulating towards a blush. As he the composure is lost for a moment. He's like, I'm not sure. That's a phrase, Cinn. Thank you for sharing that. I don't know. I don't know from before. I'm assuming I get to just start making up my mind all over again about things that I enjoy. And like gestures to the food. I guess it's really just try it and see, he says, and like winces a bit.
Well, buddy, you're in the right place for that, my friend. This is perfect.
Why don't we try a second night out for that? I think just the food and the ambiance is good for my first time.
Oh yeah. We don't. It's not a full speed ahead situation. I hear you. I just want to make sure that you're not getting tucked away in some place where you don't get a chance to get out and see whatever your strengths and weaknesses and all that stuff is.
At that time, Crescent, his little vulture, says, "Full speed ahead," in your voice.
Speaking of Crescent here, have you had Crescent since before, or is this new? Did it come with the whole package?
I think it came with the package. It was kind of like I guess a bonus for my new job title. I don't know. They're trying to see if they can get more of these out here. There's a few innovations at a certain spot with the Fauna Forged. There's the ones that they're giving away at the festival, the innovation fair. They're more like play items than anything. They just exist as like a pet. These ones are fully functioning for fighting, reconnaissance. They're very reliable. Crescent I've only had for a few months, but he's been a really fun partner, as close as I get to having a partner in this job. I don't get to see through his eyes or anything like that, but he can send me information. He can fight on his own. He can augment me. It's a lot of great unique skills.
Okay. Because a normal sort of wizard familiar, you can see through the eyes of your familiar, and you're saying that you can't see what your familiar sees? And
it's, I guess,
Cinn sort of relaxes a little bit.
Yeah, he's not so much my familiar as like, I guess he is, but I'm not like a wizard or anything. Or maybe I was. I don't really know much about magic. But a partner, I guess is the way to put it. I guess technically I'm his owner, which feels weird, but I don't know. It's a pet that I don't have to remember to feed, which is probably pretty good considering I have a conch on my head.
Hey, I hear you. One of the things I like about my familiar is I don't have to feed him. And he sort of gestures up to his floating knife, which pops out and sort of spins around playfully.
It's just kind of like it's peculiar. I kind of love it. I won't lie. But also very peculiar. You are a chef, right? I believe that's...
It's my primary trade and profession is of the culinary arts. You're correct.
Okay. Very, very fitting then. I'm assuming very useful also.
Yes, and I like sort of bringing this stuff up, trying to gauge, if you do magic, if you had any, temple lean-ins, if you, really like to punch stuff, if you were really good with a sword, what sort of, because if you're chief of security, I imagine you gotta rough some stuff up.
Well, I mean, I don't do much in the way of, how do you put it? I don't do much in the way of magic. I know a little bit of magic. It came with the armor, the something. You see him wince and just like a small, like just one drop of the ooze comes out. He's like, I don't remember. I got it basically when I woke back up. I had these abilities. I actually use this, and he takes out a little hand axe. It's like, this is mainly what I use for fighting if I need to be in melee, but I mean, I have a crossbow too. I also can summon a little bit of like energy, and like he makes a little like energy bolt in his hands and then disappears it. Not a religious type personally. I maybe I was again, but I'm just happy to exist. I think being alive. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Hey, the attitude of gratitude. That's what I'm all about.
Of gratitude. We need a quote list of Cinn, please. Somebody. Just you're on a roll. What about religious leanings for you? Anything in particular strike your fancy?
Oh, you know what? I figured if the gods were gonna choose me, they would have chosen me by now, and they would have given me some pretty cool abilities. And when I start to get some pretty cool abilities, then I'll be grateful for them. But for now, they seem to be busy doing their thing, and that's fine for them.
That is fair. As long as
I was having computer problems.
That's fine. It happens. This is okay. Yeah. They seem reassured by that. And it's like, yeah, along the same lines. things seem to be working out fine so far, so who am I to ask gods to project their will onto anything?
Right. They'll let me know if they need something. If the world needs saving, I'm sure they'll be pretty clear and obvious about it, and they won't hide it and put, hidden things to try to figure out,
That'd be odd. It's an odd way to try to have someone save the world just by not telling them how. God.
Right? I think you should be pretty clear about it, And that's why I think that things are going pretty well, because if they weren't, the gods would, just put big letters in the sky, hey, get your shit together,
Although I will say no moon is very ominous. Is that a commonplace thing here? Has that happened before?
No, that's legitimately terrifying. Yeah. I mean, if anything, that's the big sign, but I don't know what to read. There's no letters in that. There's just no moon anymore. So it's just, bad vibes, but I don't know what to do about it. I don't know how to put a moon back. I didn't make it go away.
Awesome. Cool. Is there any other information you want to make sure that you get out of him between all the casual talk, or want to give another attempt on of anything? I'll let you do one more big thing, and then we'll say your little date night comes to an end.
It wouldn't even need to be a big thing because the answer is probably no. But I do remember the Centaur brothers from the beginning, the Devati, had the shadow thing that they could summon. So, and because we saw the shadow thing attack Selune, I am curious if he knows anything about sort of shadow assassins, or if, to make things a little bit about work, any sort of anti-shadow, or what school of magic where people get shadow creatures they can summon that we should watch out for.
Roll a check, see if he figures out anything. Arcana 1, yeah. Not the biggest, brightest with this specific shit.
Can I cast guidance on him? Can I give him the D4? Can I reach over and say, hey, it's okay. I don't mean to stress you out and talk about work stuff here, but I just figured, this is what's on my mind.
Nope, 100% fair. Yeah, you can give him a guidance. Go ahead and roll it for me. He's at 10 right now, so I don't know how much more it's going to do.
2. All right, we'll give him 12.
All right, 12. With 12, let's see. Yeah, it's just I've read a little bit about the stuff that's been up here, and yeah, I've heard about the police told me about the Centaurs called the Stampede, I believe was their name.
Yeah.
And that ability is a frightening ability, and yeah, I've a group of 2 centaurs turning into 3 definitely qualifies as a terrifying stampede. I don't know much in the way of shadow. I mean, I know there's shadowy magic. I mean, darkness-based stuff. I would assume the Church of Shar might have some knowledge on. But there are also shadow monks, I believe. But I don't think those are up here. There's weird gun monks. They also scare me a bit. Nothing that I can honestly think of, unfortunately. Sorry. If we see any giant shadows during the performance, we will assume not good.
Yeah, that was sort of my assumption, is that would be the biggest indicator that things are very not good, and we can pretty fairly attack anything that's a shadow creature on sight.
Yeah, you definitely have my permission, not that you need it, but yeah, go ahead and giant shadow things kill, most likely. Maybe hit and then ask a question and then kill if there's no response. Leave a moment for a question.
Oh, of course.
Or
Who are you? Boom, boom, boom. Final run through for anybody at the Jeweled Chalice. Any final things you guys want to do? Temerity has a performance. Asunar, is there anything you're doing after Aster leaves? Cinn, any wrap up with Clyde?
After Aster leaves, I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on the underground folks because they mentioned you know whose name, and I'm just like,
Should probably flag them down and ask how bad is it? Because Cinn won some money off that fight, so if that's still going.
Yeah, we can say, like, as a quick thing, either Asunar using telepathy or detect thoughts and send you with, like, a couple quick questions between the two of you. You guys figure out, a couple of the guys are like, oh yeah, he's still going at it. Like, he hasn't stopped. He hasn't left the ring. There's more bodies than wall in that ring now. It's, like, crazy. We just keep placing bets, and we're not winning a lot anymore, but it's good. You know, you bet 20 gold, you get 2 gold back. It's just like, it's like investing. It's like stocks. Have you heard about stocks? Anyone told you about NFTs?
Yeah, some of those Ashen Industry guys were talking about it. I didn't pay much attention
They
to it. I don't have the
1,000%
extra money to throw
would be
around
the
at that
people
stuff.
that would be doing
They
NFTs.
so would.
Yeah, so you guys hear a little bit, and it's it sounds like Delton hasn't left the ring. So it's still a safe bet. You just aren't getting as much money anymore. The more he wins and the longer he just stays there, the lower his winning odds, or like the lower the actual win from him winning it becomes.
Elvis refuses to leave the building.
Yeah. So after finding that information out, Temerity, we're doing a performance. Do we want to talk it out, or do we want to just say you and Bucky just go fucking ham?
Well, okay, so I have like a vibe that I'm going for.
Ooh. Mute Nova. I'm hearing crinkly things from you, I think.
oh, sorry, I knocked my dice over, so I was picking them back up.
So, if any of you frequent the TikTok, there are.
Oh.
What's wrong?
I don't know what's
Do they go
coming, but
ham or do they go cult?
But I'm concerned.
Okay, so all right, we start, you know, I would say Temerity would come out first, and it would be like this cute little bit, like Bucky was nervous to like come out, and like Temerity came out and did his like, you know, hello, yes, it's me, I know you're very happy, like, and then and then like waved, was like wait, and then waved Bucky onto the stage, all to music, of course, and you know, Bucky like comes, kind of peeks out, um, sticks her head back like she's shy, and then Temerity like stirs the crowd to like woo her to come onto the stage and like give her applause and everything, and then she like sticks one of her like hooved feet out and like one leg and come out. It's all very like, it seems like Temerity taught her what to do. And then the two of them go out, and we've got 2 poles on the stage for this one. And it becomes kind of like this like dance where they're dancing together, but like every time it seems like they're going to like dance together, they kind of just like smoothly like move past each other. And it's very much this kind of like I don't know how to explain it other than like this edging experience of like you just want to see them dance together for some reason, because they keep kind of just barely dodging it. And then like at a kind of, the song kind of fades quiet, and then the our little stage gremlins, the ones that like to play pranks and shit, turn on this like rainwater effect, and it like comes from the rafters of the stage down onto them, and like it dims black, the water starts to fall, and then like a upward pointing like neon light shines on them, creating these really awesome shadows as they get like drenched in water, and then they start dancing together, and like she's like flipping him around. It's very much like worm on a string, like everywhere. Temerity's just everywhere. And he at one point like pulls his hair tie out and like does the like whips his hair around to like splash the crowd with water. It's a whole thing. They're panting at the end. It's like a whole thing.
At the end, Vito uses some thaumaturgy and minor illusion to have people start chanting Angel Gem real loud for you guys. To just like get the crowd and Sabinet and anyone watching on your side for that little bit. Crowd goes wild. Roll me a performance check with advantage.
Thank you. Thank you for the inspiration, Durs. Woo! Oh, there goes my light.
Need to
If I
unmute
can.
Nova. Say again, Nova.
I'm gonna throw a little bit of some dancing lights up there, just a little. Woo!
23.
23, solid. Yeah, it is a showstopper. It is a good time. You guys get flowers, money thrown at your feet. People are hooting and hollering. It's an experience. Vito composes himself enough to do that little angel gem thing to get things going, but he looks impressed is a word to use. There's other words that could be used, but we'll stick with impressed.
Mel.
Hashtag friction bits. Anyways.
That's the name of the episode in the notes.
Oh no.
Done.
Is it just friction bits or the friction bits one? Because you were doing the one.
No, I switched the strategy on naming. Just friction bits.
Nice. Nope. It's a good night. You and Bucky both walk out with an additional 57 gold.
Yes.
And beyond that, yeah, you guys put on a good show. Sabinet seems impressed, which never hurts. Solid. Yeah, that was a solid ending for you guys at the Jewel Chalice. Are we continuing to keep y'all separate, or actually, why don't we pop back over? You guys were doing homework for a while.
We were doing homework for a while.
Why don't we say those of you who are going to go back to the collective to do homework can return to share information, and anyone who's doing something else can do something else. Because I'm assuming Clyde and Sin, your guys' day is wrapped up for the most part. Una did the research or the spying that was needed, and Temerity put on a good show. So everyone did the thing that they were supposed to do. Who's going back to the the collective? Just give me a hand raise. That's up to you. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but depending on what you plan on doing, Temerity, that's up to you.
Yeah, Vito's getting a little too comfortable, so I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm done. See ya. Have a good night. Unless you want to come back to the collective with us. We have work to do.
I'm actually going to sleep like a normal human. You guys are changeling, humanoid, person. You guys are crazy. Enjoy burning the midnight oil. Hopefully it's some good research. Amazing, by the way. Awesome show.
Thank you.
I will probably see you tomorrow. I don't know. Days are weird now.
Probably.
Alright, I'll see you then.
Don't think of me too much.
Keeps going away. All right, the rest of you guys gather back at the collective, and yeah, y'all together again.
Okay. Picture this, if you will. Connie and Ethel have been poring over their notes and what they've been researching for like probably, I'm assuming with everything that happened at the Jewel Chalice, for a solid 2 hours.
More than that, with like we'll say like 4 hours.
At a minimum, 4 hours. Okay. So in the last 4 hours, Kanitae has grabbed a map of the city and started. She put it up on the wall and started grabbing colored pins to denote where people died. And is now, as everybody comes back in, she's dragging a string along like a conspiracy theorist in the order of which people died. Right? So this is just gonna end up in chat for your entertainment. But then she grabs like a different colored string and starts like tracing out something because she kind of has like a thought, a beat for a second, and now you guys get to witness my art project that took place while you guys were having fun. It's loading. It's a screenshot. There it is. There it is. But so went through everything in order, right? And it's kind of starting to take the shape of like maybe a flower. And she's just like standing there, like staring at it when you guys come back in, and she goes, "Oh, good. Nothing bad happened? No fighting?"
Oh, it was horrible. I made a vicious amount of gold tonight. Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, lucky you.
Oh, I brought you a drink to go. Do you need it?
Ooh, yes, please, thank you. And she's just gonna take it and just start drinking it. After the day I had, please, I need this. Maybe another one. Right. So,
Are you guys doing okay? Can we get you anything? You look like you have quite the setup here.
just creating more questions for ourselves, I
Well,
guess.
Walter's just like standing not
much.
in a corner, but to the side of the table, just watching the three ladies go at it.
Yeah.
They like researched him into a corner.
And
Little research gremlins.
I think also something else is that the words pure, scarred, philosophers, and guardians, like those words that are titles, have been put on like post-it notes and have been left to the side. And there's like a bundle of them trying to determine who falls under what category.
Yeah, under the Philosopher and Gardens tab is just lists of places in the city where philosophers and guardians could reside. Just like lists.
Do I need to avoid any philosophizing or gardening in the next few weeks? Is that what your notes are telling me?
Well,
like to be on the safe side?
So these quotes from the flowers, right? No, it was actually your fault that I thought of this in the first place. So there was
my fault.
Let me explain. So there was triggered the descent of your philosophers and guardians. Who do we know that has died that falls under that category? We have the police, ergo Nick, philosophers such as clerics like Judy. Guardian could also be, I don't know, Rylam, police chief. But then there's
Siobhan, technically.
Siobhan, I suppose, was a guardian of like orphans, maybe. But then there's also
there's that Ethel's just kind of like, oh yeah.
But there's
Making
also,
a note.
Yeah, but also a philosopher because she was under the Church of Shar at one point in time. But then there's also the pure and the scarred. Una, you said when we found that information about Nell, he was too pure for this world.
I did say that.
I don't know where the other people fall into this, but like, it's something. And then also, and she starts pointing at this like upside down flower diagram that she's like started to make. She goes, she'll point at like, so there's like the red string, which is like what's already happened, and then there's like, we're gonna say a white string for potential. And she points at the white string and she goes, this is just a theory. But this, and she traces like the red string along with her finger. She goes, this is what's already happened. But there's that quote, a full blossom, the perfect 8. There's only been 6 locations so far where deaths have taken place. So perfect 8 could refer to 8 locations. It could refer to 8 petals on a blossom. And if that's the case, then this blossom is far from complete. But it kind of looks like a flower. I just had the thought because we're so concerned about, the brazen ballroom, but then also down here, the coronal council is down here. Those are guardians of the city of a sort. And potentially, up here, she points to where Peshbank and Diopbil Museum are, because they're fairly close to each other. I mean, a museum's probably more likely, but it's somewhere. It's museums house the philosophies of history. I don't know. I'm kind of spitballing here, but potential locations for more death.
Also, for adding more petals on, this is super far off the wall, so it's not on the board yet. But if we're adding more petals on, we also have the healing sector that's at risk, and
points to the upper left. And then we have, Ashen drop on the upper right, but
yes. Which, Cinn, didn't you say Ashen Agriculture is doing all this stuff about creating new plant life that's sustainable in the city? So that could fall under philosophy potentially, or guardians actually, because guardians of food is guardians of life.
There's a lot of room for potential here, is what we're getting at.
All right. So who do we ask for more clues from? Or where do we go for more clues and more information? Because I like what you've done with the place, but
don't lie to me.
I don't know if I can be too helpful in a room like this.
I'm wondering. I mean, I don't. Maybe we could try talking to Aunt Plenty again, but I don't want to. Maybe bog her down.
Yeah, I'm sure interrupting a few minutes of her day is less important than the safety of the city and all the places you're circling.
You make a point.
I also, I will say, I don't know if she deals in potential as much as she deals in pre-established. She clearly deals in some potential, but not necessarily fully. And I'm sorry I interrupted you, Temerity.
No, you're fine. Same time, same start.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just wondering if Asunar was being forthcoming with the information about what Aster was thinking.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, I definitely repeat that now.
Well, that's certainly worth following up on.
Yeah, it's a little concerning. I also dug a little deeper, which, can cause some problems, but I do believe he couldn't tell it was me who was digging deeper. But yeah, he wound up leaving. I accidentally gave him a headache. And I share the information that I learn with like the three snippets of like past memory of the orphanage, him after Nell passed, and then him talking to Cinn about cooking.
Wow, he's got a real underdog story. I like this guy already. I've got a cooking lesson with him scheduled. I don't know if anyone wants to do any more mind reading or more polite questioning methods. But I sort of get to establish the name and place where we meet.
The shade.
No, I'm sorry. It was very appreciative. I probably would have done it myself had I not been busy and occupied. I think that in defense of the city, you've got to do what needs doing, and I don't think there was any harm or foul.
Well, I just want to know what that little bastard has to do with any of this, because it just knowing his history, it does not make sense that he would give half of a duty about anybody else.
Did Cinn explain what Aster explained about inviting the church people? The church ladies?
Yeah, and apparently he's inviting all the people to the Selune group as well. So get ready for that invite. As soon as I get all the planning done, I've got to figure out what we're gonna make, what we're gonna teach.
But why?
It's gonna be a whole thing.
That's so
What do you mean?
strange.
Why?
Why would he want
Why am I
to?
saying yes, or why is he asking?
No. I would want to know why he would want to invite all the churchgoers of Selene. He seems like the type to want to just kind of fly his own way. But I mean, considering what Asunar shared, perhaps he wants to meet with the churchgoers to learn more about Judy and Nick.
And I can't believe I'm fucking saying this. Perhaps there's a nicer side to Aster Montego than we initially thought. Yeah, I know.
You did not just say that.
I did just say that.
I
me,
don't
I
want to
can't-
think about the bastard being nice.
I
Kanitae,
cannot
it's
stand
my
him.
job to say scandalous things.
Wait, am I working for an asshole? What has he done to you guys?
He's just pretentious as fuck.
He's so full of himself. Like, that's why I started snooping, because this is the first time we've heard him not say, I, me. It was other people he was talking about. It was weird.
It was a little out of character for him.
Yeah, no, he's usually, like, the biggest fucking head in the room, and this time he was a little guy. Like, what the fuck? I mean, he already is a little bit of a little guy, but I mean, even more so!
Starting to see parallels between Temerity and Aster.
I'm sorry to see parallels between Kanitae and Aster. Like,
What?
looks
No, there's a
annoyed.
performance trope for charismatic people?
Mm.
Good heavens, what am I hitting on?
Charismatic people who want to rise out
Like
of their
trauma.
unfortunate circumstances and live a better life and hopefully make life better for other people. What? What?
And I never. Oh, it's hydrate time, everyone.
Thank you, gift giver.
Grab my actual water.
The gift of hydration.
Hydration. But Kanitae just looks like annoyed.
Flabbergasted.
Yeah. Just like, shit. I don't want to like the guy. He's so. But
You don't have to like him, not yet. We just need to follow up. Surely there's a misunderstanding here.
I will note, guys. I will note
Hi.
that I am neutral towards pure animosity from my direction. And if other ladies from the church are already going, then it might be wise for me to go as well. It would be natural.
Unmute yourself on Google Meets.
I thought I had. Alright, I'll do that now. Great. Cool. Hello.
Awesome. Doing great. Proud of you.
Amazing.
Love it when Discord wrecks me right in the middle of everything.
It's always good. It's always a good time. Cool. You guys are like going over this information. Trine's just writing all this down again, by the way, because it's been a while since she's had a rambling write down streak. So like, she also has pages and pages and pages of notes from like the before times with Ethel and Connie. But now it's just like all this new crap that everyone's saying as they arrive, and she's just like, okay.
Yep, that seems correct. And then yeah, Connie will just be like, yeah, it might actually be a good idea for you to go, Ethel. And I mean, I might go with you. I'm curious to see how he really conducts himself. I'm curious to know if this is charitable, if this is, for the sake of community, or if it's for the sake of blowing up his own ego.
Well, he is renting out the most expensive kitchen in the entire city.
That is a little bit pretentious, but
so it's not like we need to worry about it being perhaps another imposter situation. Do we?
No.
I mean, unless an imposter suddenly got access to all of his money.
I mean, I would imagine that would be possible, considering the one who is impostering the police chief got
Yeah.
access to all of that resource.
Yeah, Vinny, quick question. Changelings exist. So identity theft could theoretically exist. What kind of precautions do we have against identity theft in this universe?
That's a very good question.
Good question.
Because
What a question. How do we protect ourselves from fantasy identity theft? Call JG Wentworth. I don't know.
Identity theft isn't a joke, Jim.
Like, Aster might not even control his own account, so all he'd have to do is talk to his secretary. As Aster.
Oh my gosh, I should speak to Vito about this right away.
There are so many questions.
This is the reason why changelings in the world as a whole is an issue, which is why most changelings are in one city on Wishfall. It narrows the scope.
It really narrows. Oh wait, that brings up more questions. Hold on.
Okay, I mean that's your question. You may know it.
Oh, it's not relevant. It's related to Pet.
Hmm.
Oh God.
This is making me increasingly trepidatious, and I don't appreciate it.
I don't either.
Let me see if I have another drink in here, and I'll reach into my bag like Mary Poppins.
Roll me a
There's nothing
d20.
in there. Oh, okay.
You need one of those like.
Come on, baby, give me a new pair of flasks. Well.
Sure, there's a drink in there.
Ah! I found it. You want to split it with me, Kanitae?
Yes, please.
The Merry Malachite.
A long day.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm very good at alliteration.
Stream-themed bar where we play the stream that's happening and then have themed drinks every night.
That'd be cool.
Depending on the stream.
It's such a bad idea. Such a good idea, but also such a bad idea.
It would be so much work, but it would be cool.
Cool. Is there anything else?
We'd have like 3 people come.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do? Otherwise, we can say you all like get a long rest in and then have it be Sunday, like switch it over to new day.
Yeah, I mean, I think Temerity offers like another drink to Connie, and she finally looks like exhausted. She's been fired up for the last like 6 hours or so. She has that other drink. She's just like, it's like the fire just went out of her. She just looks really tired. She's I need to go to bed. She just puts the glass down.
Just make sure to check under your pillow. That Zafira is a tricky one.
Thanks.
Just looking out.
She's gonna go to her room.
What are other people doing? So Connie's going to bed for the night. Is everyone just going to sleep and then we can wake up the next day, or thumbs up if you just want to go to sleep and then wake up the next day?
Probably.
When is
I can always squeeze scenes out, but
what is the Brazen Ball event again? It's the next moon
There
day?
is a Sunday and then a
Yeah,
moon
Sunday.
day, and then the first day of the Discovery Days, which is the fair, and then the second day, which is the ball. So
Okay.
Sunday, moon day, fair day, ball day.
Okay, so you got 4 days for the ball.
Well, assuming you guys go to sleep, you'll then be on the first of those 4 days.
Oh, okay, so we'll be on the Sunday. Right. Okay, got you. Yep.
As a side note, you guys, I have a suspicion that I just want to throw out there so that if it happens, I can say I was right. Clyde is the head of security for these next 2 events. Somewhere at these next 2 events is what we think is going to be the next killing, should another one happen. And he is both a guardian and scarred. Throwing it out there. I don't know if Vinny would do that to us so fast. It feels like whiplash, but just throwing it out there.
Not put it past him.
I know.
we have 2 more days for Aster and for Clyde to be completely redeemed and enjoyable NPCs in our eyes before they're murdered.
Yeah. Which he could totally do.
If you guys
It's
decide
Vinny.
to spend all your time
Which
with them,
he
sure.
would totally do.
There's humanity in just about everybody. I don't care. Yeah, if you spend more time with them, you're probably gonna like them more because it's a lot better than you viewing at a distance. I mean, like, what a fucking asshole. So yeah, you know.
I mean, yeah, that's generally how people who are perceived as jerks work. So
So yeah, okay. Again, one more time. Thumbs up. Everyone good to just take a nap. Long rest. Everybody. Long rest. Cool. You guys go to sleep. Is everyone going to sleep at the collective? Or are people going to their individual homes or houses and all that shit?
it would be safer to stay at the collective, but I think Ethel wants to go and sleep in her own bed.
Connie's going to sleep at the
Collective, home, Temerity.
Collective.
I'm gonna go home. My wife's there to cuddle.
You go
We don't have
home.
to do a whole scene. I just want to cuddle.
You go home and cuddle with your wife.
Yay!
Cinn.
Yeah, after the collective and the assassination attempt there, Cinn is gonna start spending nights at his regular home until some mystery amount of time has passed and he feels the collective is safe.
Cool. In the morning, y'all wake up. Are you guys gathering back together at the collective or somewhere else?
I feel like the collective has kind of become the default meeting spot before we go about our business for the day. So
You guys gather around back at the collective. Ethel, one thing that you notice in the morning, you can't find your axe.
The one that I was literally using yesterday?
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know if that's the case, but sorry if it is.
I don't know if it is either. It could be that, or it could have to do with Clyde, his freaking hand axe.
She usually doesn't take shit like that, so it's probably not that.
Well, her axe is like fancy. It's
That
got the holy
shiny-
symbol of Selune on it.
Shiny with
and
a
it's
moon
shiny.
on the side of it? Yeah. She hates shiny things.
Right, cool. Well, I'm telling Walter immediately. Because that's terrifying. But I don't think I can connect the dots to it being Temerity's
No, but you now
wife.
don't have a weapon, so immediately he's gonna be like, we're gonna go get you something right now. Like, right now. Before we go anywhere else, we're gonna go get you another weapon.
Gotcha, yep. I
Take
can't
one of
cast
mine, you don't need
sending.
to pay for it.
Say again?
Just take one of mine, you won't need to buy it, I'll just give it to you.
I don't know if we're gonna stop by where you guys are for long enough to know before we go buy a weapon. I think we're just gonna go buy a weapon.
It's up to you.
Let
But
your
I
man treat
appreciate it.
you.
So it's up to you whether or not you want to. The first suggestion that Walter has is to go back down to the market, because he knows that there were magical weapons there from the last time you guys talked about your journeys. And he said,
I'm willing to go. I'm willing to go to market. I kind of want to go with my friends if I do though.
That's up to you. Yeah, no, we can go. You can go to the collective first, and then head down as a group if you want.
Yeah.
Cool. So you guys meet back up at the collective. First thing that is at least recommended by Walter. Walter's like, we need to go shopping. Whatever else we do, fine. We're going shopping first.
Hi. Yeah, I woke up and my axe is missing this morning.
That's alarming.
Yeah, isn't it? No signs of a break-in. Just gone.
That's creepy.
Isn't it? Isn't it just?
Right.
Ethel's coping with the situation as well as she can.
Well, we need to do a bit of extra shopping for Una, I guess, anyway.
Oh, I think that's a fantastic idea to go to the underground. There's some business that I wanted to take care of down there anyway.
I mean, you don't have to twist my arm. I love shopping and shop items as much as the next guy.
Asunar, have you decided what kind of pet you want to purchase?
Please don't get a pet.
Gonna get a pet.
But you were so interested in them. I was really hoping you would get one, and then it would be like one of those situations where like you don't want kids, but then you like spending time with kids. So like your sister has a kid, and then you get to play with it and hand it back at the end of the day.
Are you saying you want to be a pet uncle? Temerity?
Yes, I would love that.
Okay, well,
A punkle.
You're certainly a punk.
Thank you.
I would
Well,
suggest.
Nova, can you just mute when you like move things?
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
I would suggest you
I'm
find
done.
somebody else to be a punkle towards. Maybe not somebody who might be hunted down by an angry
The quips back and forth are really adorable and every other day. Are we going shopping and are there any other plans? Walter says. He's tense.
Fair enough, Walter, fair enough. I would like to maybe go see Aunt Plenty. Oh. Hold that thought. She's gonna cast Sending to call Nevermore. And say, have an ally in a detective. Wants to hear your story. Will you come to the collective? And leave it at that.
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh, persuasion 5 plus a 7 is a 12.
You hear 4 different voices.
What?
You hear 4 different voices saying, all cops are bastards.
Really want to know who the voices are? I'm very curious.
I'm dead.
Cast Sending one more time.
Thank you, gift giver.
I don't disagree. However, people are dying. We need all the help we can get. Will you please talk to him?
You can make me a straight roll this time. It is going to be a higher DC. But...
That's fair. All right. Oh wait, you know what? Let's grab the rose die. Let's grab that one. Oh, that's a 17 on the die. Plus my persuasion is a 7, 24.
Meet at Dreamsmith Theater.
Ooh.
Casting sending one more time. When?
We can say she gives you a time.
Oh, okay.
Part of the first one. It's early in the day. Just for convenience sake with time, we'll say like later, like in the afternoon, so you guys
Okay.
have shopping and other activity time. So just add her on the list of things because we're probably going to end shortly, but I just want to like get the list for next week. So we have shopping, onto plenty, Dreamsmith Theater. Sin?
Ethel, I don't mean to sway your decision making with your weapon purchase, but I, for one, can highly recommend Kiku's tattoo shop. Stakes. If you'll see, I can't be disarmed. They're part of me. So if you're gonna go shopping for a weapon and you're dealing with something that can steal weapons away from you, I think a tattoo might be the safest bet. I don't know your feelings on needles.
Interesting thought. She's gonna look at Walter because he's the one who has the weapon tattoos aside from you.
I mean, I like Kiku's work too. They're nice to have in a pinch, but I'm sure we're gonna find something for you down there. We can, when we go down and look, we can see what's there. We might want to just get you something magical in general, but something that you can't lose is also really nice.
Back up.
Wonderful. All right, we will put it on the list.
And then he like walks over to next to you. He's momentarily distracted. He walks up to you, and he's like, "Go to Kiku's too." It's just
Yeah, right. I was gonna say, I didn't know you got work done. This is great. We have the moment where we start like showing off the ink and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I just got a very intrusive thought, and I'm upset now.
Oh no.
Okay, is it one you want to share or no?
Just on the page of Temerity's wife stealing stuff, just imagining waking up and your tattoo is just gone. But I'm also going off of like, how would it disappear? Would the ink be gone, or would like that slice of skin just be missing too?
When you deattune from the tattoos, they do reform as a needle, so you still have it as a technical item. So both are options.
Okay. Okay.
Interesting.
I still hate it. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Also, since like I don't know what your thoughts on needles are, and Ethel's like they're useful for applying poison, but that's beside the point.
God damn it, Ethel.
So,
Green.
starting from the top, we're going to way down. Asunar, is there anything specifically you want to get done today? Any plans?
Nope, just stay hiding.
Cool. Sin?
Yeah, because we're not going to do it during this game session. I'll have time to plan out what the cooking with Aster's like. So we'll probably do that next session too.
Cool. Ethel, final things?
I'm probably gonna obviously shopping. I would like to accompany on the cooking session, so I don't think I have anything else at the moment.
Cool. Kanitae?
Talk to Auntie Plenty. Talk to Con Nevermore with Vito. There was another thing.
Did you translate the stuff back to Druidic?
Yeah, I already did that.
Oh, okay.
Workshop and act for the fair.
Yep. That's I will reiterate this as a concept since the next moon day, which is basically the next day after the one that we're on right now, that is the day that we're gonna have you guys, anyone who is entering something, you're gonna roll. And you're gonna roll, if you have someone helping you with advantage, if you have guidance or inspiration or whatever else you're gonna do then. So the next moon day is gonna be like your final roll for whatever your performance or entry is going to be on the innovation fair day. So you can definitely workshop it today, and if you guys decide that you want to workshop your things today, I will give you like a D4 or something to add to your next roll the next day. But if you guys just want to save it and wait till the moon day as well, you can also just save it for that day. So just wanted to reiterate that is how it's going. I already have the rolls for all of your competitors. I'm very excited to see how this goes. But yeah, totally, that is definitely a thing we can add to the list. Temerity.
Yes. I want to see if I can make a quick visit to the whole body.
Cool.
To look for my sibling.
Are you doing that separately from the group, or are you joining them for the shopping and then like skirting away for a little while during that?
Second one.
Second one? Okay. All right. So everyone's got their potential future stuff that they're going to end up doing. So you guys are you're leaving the collective, you're heading to underground.
Underground.
Is there a specific entrance y'all are taking? Want to go through the bathroom again? Do you guys want to?
Probably just whatever's closest to the places we're going.
Yeah, I think the closest one is in the park.
It would be the park ones from where you guys are.
Great.
Cool. As you guys head down, and head into the bathroom to go use, the toilet, quote unquote, to get dropped down a level.
As all like 10 of us go into the bathroom to use it.
You hear a weird glass on glass, or like ice slightly shifting, from some graffiti that's against a wall that like shimmers and moves a little bit. And as that happens, you hear entering the bathroom. I found you, little moon dweller. Found you. And that's where we're going to end it.
Timeout.
That was about
I'm sorry.
That was about Ethel. 100%.
10 of us in the bathroom are hearing this.
I'm so.
Is there like some people hearing it, and we're
there's
outside
there's like
waiting
someone else
politely?
who's dropping a deuce who's like, what is going on in here right now?
I love this scene, whatever it is.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
I think we're all in there
No, you're all in there together. I'm not gonna
at the same
separate you
time.
guys.
We're all hearing it.
We haven't even activated yet. We haven't gotten to the stall yet. We just walked in the door and we heard that. Lovely.
Moon
Okay.
Dweller.
Okay, I'm with you guys.
I am aware that there's supposedly colonies of Selune that live on the moon, but I'm not one of them.
Is that a rumor that goes around for the Selune and like
I'm
Shire
I'm actually pretty sure it's part of the official lore that you sent me. The remember the PDF? There's like this whole thing where some of the highest priests of Selune live on the moon or visit the moon.
Oh.
I have to refresh to remember.
Yeah, that's most likely for like Toriel Faerun like things. I also don't
Probably.
Mind, I also don't mind the idea, but the concept of it. Can you imagine right now if you were living on the moon and the moon disappeared?
Yeah, like from an Earth side standpoint, the moon disappearing could be a billion things of just like a shadow falling over the moon, right? It's just not reflecting the light of the sun right now, or it could be completely gone. If you're there, what does that look like?
Terrifying as fuck.
So
let me
thanks for the
tell you.
cliffhanger, Vinny.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Moon Dweller.
Moon Dweller.
Very excited.
I'm not.
Cool. That is all for now, guys. Thank you for those who have donated to the fund Texas Choice. Please check it out. They only do good things. Please go and donate to them again. You're welcome to spend bits here if you feel like it. Please also check out our shop, though, because that actually does have some real baller shit in it, and that's for you more than it is than just for us. So you can get some really awesome merch made by the wonderful Meloette.
It's
And
beautiful. It's all gorgeous.
as of right now, this week we will be having just one other session this week, which is going to be Gentlefolk. And then we are going to be having a cascading week of, I think we're going to be hitting Light Arc every day, every Sunday from here on out for the next month.
Ooh.
So there's
Woo!
going to be a lot of stuff. And then we'll have Earth Arc next week, Fire Arc the week after that. So it's going to be jam-packed, and maybe we'll get some more stuff in there, like some extra glitter hearts, or maybe some game nights, or some interviews, or some other weird stuff. We don't know. We just plan stuff, and then maybe it works out sometimes. It's a mystery. But thank you for coming. We appreciate y'all.
I'm smart.
And we will see you next time after we send you out to visit some other folks. Peace.